Hello. We're
Hello,
back.
how
I don't know
are
what
you?
happened.
Just tell me your name. Hi,
We got a
Mima.
little glitchy there, but
We
that's
did, we
okay.
did. But that's
We're
that's
back.
that's
We're
all
back.
about doing a live show. Can you hear me, Mima?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear. How are you doing this Tuesday evening?
I am good. How are you?
I'm doing good. And guess what? Is there anyone in chat? Because I can't see it
I
yet.
think there's
There it is.
62.
Wow.
62.
Guess what? Chat, guess what? We got some special guests here to debunk the niche some more.
A little bit more.
Right, Mima?
A little bit more.
A
But
little bit more.
any guesses, guys? As we're saying hello, let's say hello to everybody.
You could say
Let's
hello
see.
as I'm firing up my laptop.
Gail is here, Joshy Boy, Idaho, Misty, JM, Throwback Threads, Dawn is here, JM is here, Misty B. Carson, Lana's here. Let's see. Annie is here. Pamela's here. C. Knowles, 56. Strawberry is here. Rebecca, yes, is here. Kelly is here. Janelle is here. Let's see who else. Pat Lowe is here. One Way, Julie is here. Alphin Sting is here. Hello, hello. Stephanie Davis. Luz is here. Sandy Shalise is here.
Okay, I think we get the point. There's lots of people here, Mima.
Oh,
we got a lot to do.
I like to say hi to everybody.
I know you do, but we got so much to do in such a short time.
Okay,
so
okay.
the only thing
First,
I want to
before
say,
what? We're not
the
going
only
to
thing I
say
would say to Mima, they always yell at me for over talking you.
I know. Go ahead. All right.
I only want to say, mods in chat, I will handle any disgruntled comments. So do your normal thing. I'll take care of that on the back end. And Mima, I heard you say you asked if anyone could guess who our special guest would be. Here's Chelsea. What we break now?
Well, wait a minute, Chelsea. What we're going to do? What?
I'm just going to remind Boss Man here before he leaves to read his wonderful piece of paper before he comes.
Legals.
Oh my gosh! Thank you.
You're welcome.
While he's reading that, Chelsea, we're going to play the video first, and then.
Okay. After I read this, and then all right. So let me get going. Because of legal matters, I must state the following. This video contains sensitive content. Viewer discretion is advised. The content reflects the personal views of these creators. This is for entertainment purposes only. These creators are not responsible for your individual emotional responses or actions taken based on this video. All rights to the original materials in this video belong to their respective owners after we're done with the video. And this is used under Fair Use and Commentary and Criticism Act of 1976. If you want to learn more, look it up.
Okay, we're going to bring on our guests in a minute, but I decided that I was going to play a video of our person, and where she's talking about our guests and how wonderful they are, because this is what she does. She gets people under her wing. She love bombs them, talks about how great they are, how loving they are, how wonderful they are. She gets everything out of them, and then she discards them. And we want that to stop. We don't want anyone else hurt. So we're going to play that video, and then we're going to bring on our guests who want me to read a statement, which I will first, and then they will come on and answer questions. So, no further ado, Chelsea, play the video.
And, and my amazing friends, I saw Tiffany of Thrifting Vegas in the chat. Tiffany came over and helped move all the birds. That was a big stress relief because she had a van and we could leave them in their cages instead of transferring them out. And then Picker Road, Gary and Harleen have been here like every day. They've been here every day supporting me in every way that they can. And I just feel there's no words that can express just how much these people mean to me, and how much good friends like that mean to me. And I know sometimes in the heat of the moment and in the stress, I feel like I'm like this really high maintenance, crazy lady. And then my friends are always just like here and supportive. And it's so special. It's so special. So thank you guys. Thank you. Look at making me cry. But, and I know I'm going to get out of here, and it's all going to be okay. And I'm going to have this fresh start, and I get to start decorating. And thank you, Hudson Vintage. Thank you. Oh my gosh, you guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. That you don't even know how much that helps too, because with not putting up videos and not creating, obviously things fall down. So that stuff really, really helps. This has been probably my most expensive move to date. I got to say, I've moved a lot. Some of you have watched me move like twice before this. But they were never as big as this one. And it's because I had both my business and my home here, and we expanded to fill the space. And I'm going from 4,700 square feet down to 2,500 square feet. And the store is full. I got tears in my glasses. The store is full. I had to rent a storage unit, as you saw in last night's video. And thank you, Claudia. Oh my gosh, you guys, Candace, thank you. Thank you guys. And you know what I'm going to do? What I'm going to do with those super chats is I'm going to take my amazing friends who have been here for me out to dinner. Because again, like I said, I could not have gotten through this without them. I had some comments saying, you better thank Will, because he's the reason, you had such a successful estate sale. And yes, Will was amazing as well. Will has not been here this week because he's at the Star Trek convention having a good old time. But Gary and Harleen, like I said, have been here every step of the way. They're probably not in the chat because it's their other son's birthday tonight. Or there's no doubt in my mind they'd be here right now helping as well. But yeah, they are just crazy. Or there's no doubt in my mind they'd be here right now helping.
So we're back.
But yeah,
okay, let me mute this behind.
Yeah, I was gonna say, you must have a mini lag.
I was listening, but
yes, I was. Right. I left mine on mute.
I was listening because sometimes I like to re-listen to what is said because it kind of makes it fresh. All right, I am going to read the statement. It's a little bit long, so it might take me a minute. And let me get to it. Hang on a second. Chelsea is going to put it up for us so we can see it also. Let me go to my, let's see. Okay, here we go. The views, information, and opinions expressed by Picker Road during this show, either in writing or verbally, are based on firsthand information along with events witnessed in person and are protected under our First Amendment rights. We are grateful for this opportunity to clarify several things that have been said online in regards to Picker Road. First, we want to clarify that we were not fired.
I'm stopping you for a second. You have an echo?
Oh, really? Let me see if I can get rid of it. Hang on. Hang on one sec. Oh, it's going to be, I'll have to read it off the thing.
Yeah, okay. I need it as big as I can. Sorry.
No, I know. Let me go off of here. It's because I was on the other thing. Is it better now?
Say something again.
Is it better now?
Yes. Say
Okay.
something, I'm
Okay,
giving
so
up on
go
you.
to the
Good
page.
song.
Go to page one.
Okay.
Page one. Not
Page number
okay. Okay. I'm going to be a little laggy because I'm reading it off of the. Okay. First, we want to clarify that we were not fired from the now defunct NSN, Niche Shopping Network. In order to be fired, one must have worked for an entity. We never worked for NSN. We were invited to join NSN as one of the first presenting hosts, while being told that it was going to develop into a massive sales network. This obviously never happened. We brought to NSN our professionalism, high quality items, and production value that we have prided ourselves on in the development of our own channel. As time progressed and no substantive growth of the NSN channel occurred, we found ourselves disappointed with the direction it was going. Next slide. One particular, is that in right order? Yeah, I guess so. One particular incident that drastically altered our perception of NSN was when we received an email from Danny, the niche lady, proposing that we raise prices on items and then offer a discount. So it appears that items are on sale. Obviously, this goes against all of our morals, and we refuse to participate in this sales event. The actual email from Danny is attached in this statement. Next slide. Not long after, we were presented with a multi-page contract that would start charging us not only a monthly fee to appear on NSN, but also a show cancellation fee. If we missed a live, as we are often on the road filming, this would not work for us. And we knew no longer wished to continue on NSN. When we refused to sign this contract, we received a call from Dawn less than 2 hours before we were scheduled to go on air, informing us we were no longer a good fit for NSN. We immediately reached out to Danny, the niche lady, to clarify the phone call we had received from Dawn. All of our calls and texts were blocked by Danny. And when we went into Danny's live, that was taking place at the same time, to ask for her to reach out to us. All of our personal and professional YouTube accounts were muted by her. Next slide. At this point, we posted a detailed statement on our YouTube channel explaining to the public what had transpired. Much to our shock, Danny, the niche lady, illegally hacked our YouTube account to remove our formal statement and over 100 instances of support by our viewers. She did not once, not twice, but 3 times before we were able to finally block her access. The original text of our statement is still posted to our channel and can be read today. Next. In conclusion, regarding NSN, we have no ill feeling towards Dawn, who graciously apologized for the way we were treated, and we accepted her apology in full. We are now happy to count Dawn among our internet friends. As for Danny, the niche lady, we sincerely hope that anyone reading this or knowing the relationship that we had with her understands that she did not have the courage or kindness to contact us personally regarding the end of our time with NSN. Next. And the timer is right there. Can you read the first line for me, Chelsea?
Oh, mine is under the
Yes.
mic button.
Another issue we wish to address here is that it was stated on your last live show that we stayed loyal to Danny to the end. That is totally not
Okay.
true.
We had began distancing ourselves from Danny early in 2024. Several factors heavily weighed into this decision on our part. Numerous actions by Danny that we personally witnessed behind the scenes were in stark contrast to our business and ethical beliefs. Let's see. Give it a second, guys. Sorry. The clock is right in the corner and I can't read the first few words.
Do you want me to read the sentence?
Yeah, read them again.
In the year and 8 months.
Okay, I can see. In the year and 8 months that we were associated with her, we were on the road picking and filming a great deal, thus limiting our time with her. We did film some videos with her, and as previously stated, we did agree to appear on NSN. However, yes, we did see the red flags, which led us to our eventual separation. As we have previously stated, Pick a Road stands for positive, uplifting, and fun content. We have made every effort to move forward from this dark time and the toxic atmosphere that we found ourselves in. And we'll show the thing from Danny to them, which is there. And you can read that all, I think.
Yeah, it's super tiny. I can read it for you.
Super tiny.
Yeah, super tiny. I can read it. This was sent on June 28th, or Friday, June 28th, 2024, from Danny, the Niche Shopping Network email. It looks like everyone is participating in this event, which should be super fun. The goal is to clear 10 items you have listed a while and just need to move. We can do make offer, aka auctioning format, as long as we don't say bid or run it like we're auctioning. That has been working well. The battle out a price above your lowest acceptable offer, then you adjust the price in Shopify and put your name on it and put their name on it. Ultimately, you can have something with a higher price than giving it a lower price. Anyone interested in it can put into a drawing and be a winner. Excuse me. You can get the price what you asked for. It also is a good opportunity to run a clearance sale. If you all agree on a discount code, then there can be one code used for all of our shops. We can use 30% and niche 30 ? For higher end items you don't want to discount, you can bump up the price for the sale. Wink. You can also, or I should say that's a smiley face, not a wink, or maybe it's a wink. It's a wink. You are still entering items we are still entering items in manually into the show. So the sooner you can get your items to me for your top 10 items, the better. This is going to be super fun, Danny.
All righty, that's their statement. And now we're going to welcome Pick a Road. We're having Harleen and we're having her son, Will.
Hello,
Welcome
everybody.
Welcome, welcome.
Hello.
First of all, we want to say thank you to Dave, Mima, and Chelsea for having us. It's very kind of you to include us.
Thank you for coming to our panel and explaining what you three endured with the Niche Lady. And I also want to extend my sincere apologies to you, Harleen, Gary, and Will for things I said about you while I was, I hate to say the word, friendly with the Niche Lady. I now know you guys are fantastic people.
Oh, Dave, that's very, very kind of you. Not necessary, but very kind of you to do that. And of course, we fully accept it and are so glad to be here with you.
Thank you. And this is for Gary. When I sell this puppy, I'm going to add this to your total, my friend.
Not fair. Not, you're getting him excited.
He's getting closer. Was
Oh,
that
you-
5,000 he has to reach, or is it more?
Well, the goal originally is 10,000. We're almost halfway there, and
Wow.
it's just a matter of what comes along. If we find an old Mustang for 7, then we'll approach it then.
Absolutely.
Something like that.
his what happened to the GTO dream? Is that still a dream?
Oh,
It's still a
absolutely.
dream, Chelsea.
And
It's still
My
a dream.
question, where I was promised, like where I bought one of the first glowy glasses, that I get a ride down the strip. Is that
You
yay?
bet.
Thank you. God bless. Yay!
Absolutely.
Yay!
Bet. Are you kidding, Chelsea?
I'm so excited.
There's a lot of love in this chat for you guys.
I see
We're
that.
seeing that.
And
We
I-
thank you all
I
so
want to
much.
say hello to everyone. You guys are all so dear to us, and we really, really appreciate all of the love and the outpouring of support. It means the world to us, and you guys all know that.
Thank you.
Thank you for being here.
Yes, thank you. I'm seeing all this. I'm overwhelmed by this chat right now.
Really.
There's a lot, and it's
Hey, you
very,
guys are great
um,
people.
very
You are great
warm.
people.
Thank you so much. Well, we always have
So,
said, what you see is what you get.
said, yeah. You said when you were coming on, I hope I don't start bouncing off the wall again, but you said when you were coming on, you were going to answer some questions. So I had a few that we had written down, but I want you to tell us, first of all, how you met the Niche Lady and how did the whole thing start? What drew you into her?
Well, I tell you something, it was really hard listening to that video you just played. It brought back a whole lot of feelings. It was hard. Really, really
I can
hard.
imagine.
I will go over this really quick. It all started with the pandemic. We were locked in at home, of course, like everyone. Our oldest son, David, right before the pandemic started, moved to Las Vegas from California. And I was missing my son so bad. We were all seeing the horrible images on television and hurting on the inside. So I decided, I got on YouTube and I was searching for any imagery of Las Vegas that I could find to see what was going on there. And I found Tiffany of Thrifting Vegas. And here was this great woman who was doing everything I wanted to do, doing what I do, the picking and everything. And I loved watching her. And she started recommending another channel called The Niche Lady. So naturally, I went over and looked at that. And I was watching them both. And then I'm going over this real fast. We decided to move to Las Vegas to be with our older son and keep our family together. When we got here, I reached out and I met them when they shared a booth at the Fantastic Indoor Flea Market. I went there and I met them both, and it just started from there. And that's how it started. The next milestone, I guess, would be Danny opening up the Good Stuff and offering us a room to sell in next to Tiffany, Carrie, Mikey, Sonny, the whole gang. And basically it just started from there.
So there are a few questions that I know the viewers want to ask because it's always come up in different places. But one of the things she said on her lives is that when she was doing tell-alls about people is that you guys, everything that you ever did for her, you were well paid for.
Well, that couldn't be further from the truth. What we did get paid for, what she hired YTS Films, our film company, to do was to produce some of her videos. At the time, she was doing videos 7 days a week, and she was extremely stressed out or overwhelmed doing that, trying to open up the store, everything. So she hired us to produce some of the videos. I think maybe like 2.
I think we were doing about.
We would film it. William would edit it, and she would get the finished it would take a little bit of the pressure off of her. And so we did that, and I must say at a greatly reduced fee, because we were building what we thought was a friendship. We wanted to be there for her, help alleviate some of the stress, and we were producing those videos. And yes, absolutely, she paid us to do some of those videos for a short period of time. I don't remember exactly how long.
Well, if you all remember,
trickled off.
we were doing a kind of a sub show on her channel called Finding Good Stuff about life at the thrift store, and Carrie and Rebecca and Sunny, Mikey, all of us were characters basically on it. And that only lasted about 10 episodes, I want to say.
If that even.
Yeah.
If that. So that was this. Yes, absolutely she paid us for that. And but
did you get a discount at the shop?
No. We paid full price for our room. We paid over it was $525. And it's actually funny because we were the absolute first check. I wrote a check for the first month. We were the first check that she got for the good stuff, and she noted that. And that, so everything was very cordial. Everything was very cordial. We paid our rent every single month till the day we left. Absolutely. And we were absolutely paid for that short time of producing videos. We produced many videos that we were never paid for, that we just went out and filmed with her. And everything that we did for her, from moving the house to driving her to Reno for one of her conferences, to the whole list that you guys all witnessed. Well, we were never paid for that. We're not for hire. You couldn't buy us.
And I would like to say in this that if there's any intimation ever that there were certain people who, helped us develop our channel when Picker Road did start, the people who really truly did that were Sunny, Mikey, and Carrie, and we are so grateful to them.
We got our first 200 subscribers from Mikey.
Yeah.
I was there. It was the live opening. I remember, and he's like, go follow Picker Road. And then with the excitement we shared when you guys hit that 1K.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, I remember. For the chat, I want to say these guys are saying here now that they were never paid past the little reality TV show that Danny wanted to have at the Good Stuff thrift store. She told me and other individuals that, Will, you were paid $300 for every show you filmed, including the
editing
and oh my goodness, you were paid for the estate sale.
No.
And every time they went live at the thrift or at the swap meet.
No.
And yes. So
nope.
And as along with JDA, I want to apologize to you guys as well publicly.
Oh, no,
I know, honey, but you guys know I need to. And I'm not gonna cry, Mima.
Don't cry, don't cry.
I'm keeping myself so I don't cry. Because of the stuff she told me and the stuff I witnessed and the stuff I heard prior to NSN and the falling out of NSN. And we'll dive into that more. But these guys are amazing people. If you guys are even a hint of doubt, I've hugged both of these people in person. Who's jealous? Who's jealous? Mima, you jealous? Because I love these people. But yes,
thank you, sweetheart. You know we love you.
Yeah,
I love you.
And
okay,
the constant narrative too that we've noticed just in what Chelsea was saying there, and in having the wonderful hindsight of being able to compare notes with Carrie and Mikey and Sunny and so many others, is that there's always something said the minute you step away. So
yeah, right. It's kind of like the Kim Carnes song, "Love the One You're With."
Yeah.
And whoever's not in the room.
Right. So tell me about some of the red flags that were coming up.
My goodness.
Biggest one for me, you guys were talking about the other night in your live, and I'm so glad that Rebecca is here, because that night with Rebecca's mom and the purses, I felt so absolutely horrible for her mom, because her mom is such a sweet, wonderful,
she worked so
kind
hard
person,
helping Rebecca, opening the store, then stocking the store and working in the store. And I'm pretty sure, I don't know Rebecca, but she never got paid.
I want to stop 1 second. Grammy K just gave a super chat It's a huge one. Thank you so much, Grammy.
Aw,
Grammy K. Sorry.
Grammy K, thank you. It's so good to see you, my dear. It's been a minute.
And we are seeing all of these wonderful things everyone's saying in the chat. Thank you all so much for your kind words. It really means a lot to us.
Yeah, it means everything, because as you guys know, we wanted to put this behind us.
Yeah.
Our viewers on our channel specifically didn't want any drama, and so we honored them and left this all behind. But these good folks, we wanted to join in our voice and be heard that, you know, we experienced a lot too, and we wanted to just clear some things up.
Yeah.
So, what were
I'm
some
going
of
to
the
tell you
other
a story right
flags?
quick, if I may, about Grammy K. Thank you so much for the super chat and Picker Road. This would have been during the moving process of Danny moving her to the other house. And I remember you guys were doing a live whatnot in your booth. And Grammy K was in your show. And Will, you were saying something, and then Harleen kind of said the opposite of you. And Grammy K was like, yep, I'm on the same page as Harleen. And I walked by and I said, well, if Grammy K and Harleen are on the same page, by damn, that is a centerfold. And it's because you are both beautiful, spirited women. So I had to throw that out there. Thank you, Grammy K.
Chelsea, you've got such a good memory. I love it.
Yes. And for some reason, that memory is being doubted. Coming soon. Stay tuned.
Well, it's funny because just the other day I was thinking about when you did that that pop culture show, and I live simulcasted with you from our booth, and that was so much fun because we were talking Star Trek, Star Wars, all those things that I
remember
love.
that.
And it was my pleasure to try and help you, get some of those items sold.
I remember that.
Yeah.
So much. And I still have so many of those pictures left. And I was telling Mima and JDA before the show, I'm like, these guys are top class. Like, they rub shoulders with celebrities and movie stars. And like, I'm rolling out the red carpet, whatever color carpet they want. If they want the Star Trek entrance theme played, let's do it.
Well, it's our job. It's our job. The Santa Barbara International Film Festival and all the other things that we do, that's our job. And we really love it. We enjoy it. And it's our job. Picker Road is our passion.
Yeah, truly.
So, I have some more questions.
Yes, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to get off topic.
No,
Red flags. That was a
okay.
red flag that night, because I can't stand to see anybody as beautiful as Rebecca and Rebecca's mother be ostracized like that for the most ridiculous. If that was my store, and Rebecca's mom wanted those purses, mind you, 2 purses under $20, I would have given them to her on a silver platter for all that she had done for me. So to find that there was even things said to her, it's shameful, actually. There's no other word. And that was a big red flag for her. But I want to say something really, really important. Our involvement in the good stuff was a business decision. It wasn't because we wanted to be around Danny all day. It was a business decision. And at that point, we had already put a lot of time and money into building out that room. And so we didn't just stay silent. We thought it was horrible, but we had to stay there. We had already invested in the room, and our viewers were coming. When they came to Vegas, they would come there to see us. The last thing we wanted to do is say, okay, we're not there anymore, and have that open up to question.
Certainly, right.
So it was an investment, and we were not happy. That's all I can say. We were not happy, but we did sell things, and that also, I think, caused a lot of tension.
Mm-hmm.
To some people,
Right.
because we were selling.
Yeah.
So that was a red flag.
Yeah. I know people are going to want to know about the front seat of the truck.
Oh yeah, let's go there.
Let's go.
Okay. Like, I don't know if anybody knows the movie Pretty Woman. There's a great line in there. Big mistake.
Huge mistake.
Huge. I made a
How did
mistake.
it all start?
I made a mistake, and I took full responsibility for it. I take full responsibility, and I apologize to anybody who was uncomfortable with it. It all started because when I was a kid, I suffered from horrible car sickness. I couldn't
I
get in
did
the car
too.
without Dramamine.
I did too.
And
Ditto.
she told us that she gets car sick, and that riding in the front with that kind of open vision was so much easier on her. That's how it initially started. And the rest of it, I almost can't even fathom why I allowed that. It's shameful. And that's on me. And I'm so angry at myself. And Carrie tells me I have to let it go and forgive myself. I know she tells me that all the time, but that one's on me. And I really want to apologize to some of the people that were in Reddit saying that you shouldn't be doing that, girl. And they were absolutely right. And I was wrong. And I don't know why I let that go on for so long. I really don't. It's one of those things where hindsight is an exact science. And I don't know what I was thinking. I was trying to be a friend, reaching out to Danny when we first moved here and trying to make a friend. It was really kind of going outside my comfort zone. We had lived a very public life in Santa Barbara because of all the filming we did. And so we were busy all the time and didn't have a lot of time to make friends and things like that other than our work friends. And I had gone out on a limb to try to be friends with Danny. And I guess it was just an extension of that. And it went on way too long. I was absolutely wrong. And I can only beat myself up so long. And I apologize.
Well, I don't think it was anything you did wrong. I think you were just being kind and you were taken advantage of. So I think you might be angry at yourself because you were taken advantage of.
I am.
You know, people take advantage of us at some of our moments, and you know, it's just a front seat. At the end, it's just a front seat. You know.
Yeah, but I know, Mima. But looking back, I see how ridiculous it was. I don't know. I just one of those. It's just one of those things that I don't think I'll ever understand why I did it, but I did, and it's over.
I like the way Grammy K puts it.
What does she say?
It takes a while to get the Kool-Aid out of your system.
Thank you, my dear. Thank you, my dear. But I do apologize to anybody who was uncomfortable with it. And I want to tell all the people on Reddit that told me I was wrong. You were right.
Okay. The other thing that I know people want to know is there was an estate sale, and we didn't talk about this before, but there was an estate sale that you went to before her, and you had a pile of things from this estate sale, and there was an outdoor ornament.
The cactus.
The cactus.
The cactus.
May I?
Oh, that's the famous
Take it, Whit.
cactus.
The famous cactus.
Oh,
okay.
we found it on camera long before she
May-
even went near it.
May I?
Yes, you did.
Yes.
Okay,
Will.
so if I can give you the layout of this place, it was a very large main house, and then there was a small guest house in the far back of a long stretching backyard. So this was a preview. This was a preview sale that only a few people were specifically invited to, and we were there, and we had already basically done most of the main house, and they mentioned to us that there was a guest house in the back that we could go to. And if you watch our videos, what you see is truly what you get. I studied documentary film with a amazing verite filmmaker, and she taught me that truth is better than anything else. And when we show our videos, we try to show all the truth that we can in it. So we show things in the exact order in which they happened, and we don't cut things. The only thing I think we ever cut is if somebody around us is using bad language, which happens at sales
Or
occasionally.
music.
Or
Loud music.
But we followed the pathway to the back guest house in this property, and there were 3 pieces of Talavera and this gorgeous metal cactus.
I found it.
And you see it right in our video. She says, "Look at this cactus."
I have Gary pick it up because the thing is darn heavy.
It was
Right, it
heavy
was
as can
heavy.
be. It was heavy as can
Very
be.
heavy.
And in the video, she says, "We're gonna find out how much they won for this. Can you go put it in our pile?"
Yeah.
And then if you watch on the flip side, after it went into the pile, on her video, she walks over and is admiring it, and I can't remember if it was
Well,
us or
I do.
yeah,
We had come back in the
we had come
house
back in.
and our pile was there. You know, when
Mhm.
you go
Your
to these
pile
estate
was
sales,
there,
you
for
make a pile, and our cactus was right in our pile. And when I walked in, she was in handling the cactus, and I said, "Look, that's ours."
Yeah.
I wasn't mean or anything like that.
No.
And she was very upset and kind of wanted to storm off. And I said, "Hey, it's not a turtle."
Mhm.
And she goes, "Yeah, but it's a bird."
Yeah. And I will say also at that sale,
At that point, you know, her mom was there at that sale.
I helped her mom carry a box out to her car.
William helped Bobby carry a box out even. That was before things totally went south. We had even offered, she was buying a big cabinet. She was buying that big cabinet that she keeps all her jewelry in.
Mhm.
It looks like a file cabinet, like not a file, you know, the little
Like the
Right.
library card.
Dewey
back in
Decimal
the day.
but
cabinet.
yeah.
Yeah.
So we had even offered, Gary and William had even offered to help her with that, but they couldn't get the sale done in time and we had to leave for another appointment.
Mhm.
But I mean, we had no bad feelings, but I realized then within days that she was really angry about that cactus.
Oh,
And
yeah,
that is not a supportive friend.
friend, right.
So the biggest red flag of all was the cactus.
It
Because
was, I
I
would
did
think
not
so.
there was nothing wrong. I found a darn cactus. And yes, it turned out to be very, very valuable. And I'm sorry, but I found it fair and square.
She wanted you to give it to her. That's
Oh, of
that's
course
why
she
she was.
did.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what? You know the really sick part about it? Probably a year prior, I would have.
Mhm.
But I had woken up by that point, and I that was my cactus. I didn't even know how much it was worth, but I found it, and that was my cactus.
Well, BW says, did you have an agreement when you would drop videos? Heard she had control over that.
She got really angry if we ever wanted to go live against her. Well, no, we wouldn't do it against her, but I mean at the same time.
Mhm.
And I think we did work out that we would never drop on the same day as her.
We tried to coordinate in a few cases, but yeah, I mean,
But that's not really
no.
a problem because you know, sometimes it's hard. You can't always coordinate it, but if you're friends with somebody or you think you're friends with somebody, then you're willing to work with them.
Yeah.
It wasn't a big deal. Back when she was going every day, we wouldn't have had a choice, but we certainly adjusted the time. We never tried to purposely go against her.
Mhm.
You know, we never purposely. And I just want to talk about something you might be asking this, well, so I'll jump ahead and just let's talk about Whatnot.
Mm.
Hang on,
Let's
I want to pause just a second. I want to throw something out there about the cactus.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Behind the scenes story from Danny.
Yeah.
She says that you guys promised the estate company that you guys recognized the value of that cactus right away.
I
and
did.
that you guys, for a super deal, and you were going to throw money back towards that estate company, and
Absolutely.
that
And then
never,
and then
that
they did
never
a sturdy.
Yep. We
Yep.
were going to do that, and then
And they did a sturdy.
yeah.
Yep. So I want you to tell your story on that because she is saying, nope, you never did it. And she's throwing
We
you
didn't.
under the
We
bus.
didn't because he had invited us to another sale, which we went to and we spent a whole bunch of money at. We were still in the
We hadn't
process.
sold it
We
yet.
were still in the process of listing and dealing with the cactus. And in the time after that sale and before the next one was scheduled to happen,
He had promised
that he would invite us to the next one as a pre-sale. And
he also wanted us to do a commercial
Yep.
for their company.
and then out of nowhere he stopped answering my calls. I called and left him a message and I said, are you not responding to us? Never responded
Never
to that.
responded.
We ended up going to a sale that we didn't even know was his a few weeks later, and he acted like everything was fine, but he was also, you could tell that he had made a deal of some kind somewhere else.
Drinking Kool-Aid?
Mhm.
There was a backdoor deal made, I'm sure.
There was something. And you know what? Our word is our bond. But
Mhm.
I tell you something right now. He did us totally dirty. Something very ugly was going on there. He's not around anymore either.
I don't know if he is anymore.
We haven't seen it.
No.
Numbers have
But-
gone down, and Danny herself is no longer working with him.
Mhm.
Yeah. So that's fine.
The one thing
Because
I will-
anybody who's going to turn around and turn it on us,
Yeah.
when we said that we hadn't sold it.
No.
We hadn't sold it yet, or else I would have given the money right there.
Love you, Carrie. Have a good gym.
Aw, Carrie,
Bye, Carrie.
Bye,
Go
Carrie.
work out
The one
well.
thing I will
work
say,
out for me.
the thing I'll say about Vegas is Vegas may have over 1 million people in it, but it is
It's
a small town.
town.
And there are some really, really good estate sale companies here. There are ones we watch our videos, you see that we constantly call them out and how great they are and how much we enjoy working with them. We see their sign outside. We know we're going in there and we're going to find fun people, quality merchandise, and fair prices.
Fair prices.
There are ones that we avoid like the plague.
Right.
And there's
Some-
only a couple. There's only a
Yeah.
couple, but that's one of them, because
Right.
if you have that level of ethics from the beginning, then you're not going to succeed in a town this small.
Absolutely correct.
So,
And I
Will,
just wanted
want
to
you
put that out there
tell-
because I know how she's going to spin this possibly on her next
There's
tell-all.
there's nothing to spin.
Yeah,
there is
so I
nothing-
wanted,
and it-
sorry, Mima, for interrupting you, but I wanted that to them to
I
see that she's on that.
appreciate that, Chelsea. And let's put it out there right now. If somebody has something to say about us, say it to our face, or contact us. Don't try to make up a narrative, with us not around. That's not fair. That's not right. We don't have a chance to respond. So I thank you so much, Chelsea, for bringing that up. And I hope the cactus gate, as we'll now call it, is going to be put to rest at some point.
Okay, I want Will to tell us about what you did for her Facebook page and the Critter Cam.
So yeah, that was again interesting period in my life, going from producing a feature-length documentary film to that.
Doing Critter Cam on her fish.
Okay, so when we started the Finding Good Stuff show that we were talking about earlier, one of the things that she offered to me was a project that she didn't want to take on. She wanted to monetize her Facebook channel, which she was simulcasting her content to, but hadn't put any effort into it. And I'll get to Critter Cam after that. So I kind of took this on, and I was working on this in the background as we were doing on all of this other stuff. And we did manage to get the page monetized.
You did, yeah.
I managed to get the page monetized. I did all the proper elements, put it all in place. The day after I got it, and I'm sorry, and I was promised that I would get 50% of the ad revenue from that.
How much money did you get?
What, zero, absolutely zero. The day after the page was monetized, she posted a copywritten meme to the page just at some point in the day. I guess she saw it and thought it was funny and wanted to post it on there. She posted it on there, and immediately the page got demonetized for copyright infringement.
After all his work.
After all of my work.
All his work.
And she called me up and said, "Why is the page demonetized?" I looked at it, did a little research. I said, "Oh, because you posted this. This was a copywritten meme. It even had a little registered trademark thing in the bottom corner." And she said, "Oh, well, fix it. Get it remonetized." And at that point, I kind of washed
Didn't you write many letters?
I
and
wrote
emails?
letters. I talked to their people. I washed my hands of it. I am
Eventually, yeah.
I'm sure she's monetized now. I have never seen a penny of the ad revenue from any of that work. And then within that same space, maybe a little bit later, she got this idea to create a side channel called the Critter Cam, because she had so many animals. She wanted to document them. I think we had told her about a friend of ours who had a fish tank, and he was live streaming the fish tank, and it was making ad revenue.
Right.
So she got this idea, and she said, "Well, I've got a fish tank. I've got multiple fish tanks. I've got dogs. I got."
Which is fine.
all these
People love
animals.
watching. It's relaxing.
Again, the
Of course they
offer
do.
the offer was develop this, get it monetized, and we'll split the ad revenue with you. 50-50 down the middle.
How much did you get out of that?
Zero. And what? I don't know. A week after the channel actually reached the monetization numbers, somehow my administrative access just disappeared.
I told that she removed you because you requested to be removed because you had too much other things going on and that you were plain out lazy.
Oh, yeah. William's lazy. That's right.
Oh, well,
I have
sure
to
he
make
is.
William sleep because he works so
Right.
hard all the time.
I see
Wow.
it. I totally see it. I didn't believe it when she said it, but part of me did because it was intoxicated with Kool-Aid. But the core me that is surprised or like sober off the Kool-Aid knows my fellow 80s baby brother from another mother. We're not lazy folk.
No.
At one point in my life, I was directing and editing 5 television shows at the same time. Right now, on top of Picker Road, I'm doing 2 and making a feature-length documentary. So if you want to call me lazy, call it to my face.
That's right. And yeah, and I was producing. Gary was cinematographer.
Oh, no.
None of us are lazy.
We have been a family from the beginning. The joke back in California used to be that we were like the dinosaurs in Jurassic Park because we moved in herds. The 3 of us found a long time ago, right when I was in film school, we found that we worked really good as a team, that we had each other's back, and we always have had each other's back. So that's why we're proud to be together, and that's why we love doing this so much.
Yeah, and Gary and I, we are looking to support William as a young filmmaker and everything that he does. So we want to take all of our years of experience and support him while he brings so many new ideas. And that's why Picker Road has been, again, I can't say it enough, it is such a passion of ours. We just love it so much that we can bring whatever we have, whatever God given talents that we have, we can bring, and it's not much, but we have a little bit. We can bring together. He has a lot. We can bring it together.
Where did I get it from?
And create this place of community and fun and joy and journey. So that's where Picker Road came out of. I just want to address Whatnot, though, because I know there's been things said that she did all this Whatnot stuff for us. Yes, but we worked for it. What we worked for were the raids. We did back-to-back Whatnot shows for quite a while. And while she was on her show, once Carrie had left, Gary and I stepped in as her assistants. I made my husband, a world acknowledged cinematographer, stand there and unwrap her little pieces of stuff to sell. We helped her, we assisted her, I put the numbers of the winners or whatever we did. We did the whole thing for her. And then she raided into our show. And most of the time, she would go overtime. If our show was supposed to start, let's say at 6, she would sometimes run her show over for as long as she wanted. So that was another red flag. I should have seen that she didn't respect us, but I didn't. I sat there packaging her little trinkets.
Well, poor Gary was stuck with holding everything that she would buy at the flea markets or whatever and carry them to the car. It was terrible.
It's my fault. I take full responsibility for it because I asked my husband and my son to do this because I was trying to develop a friendship, and I feel so bad. I think I can say Gary didn't honestly want to do that with her. It wasn't particularly his favorite person, but he did it for me, and I take full responsibility. And I can only look back at that year and 8 months or so and try to learn from it.
One of the specific examples of that really stands up in my mind too was that there was a time where she contacted us and asked us to come into Good Stuff to do a Whatnot show. This is before she had to stop doing them at Good Stuff. But the night before, your godmother, my great aunt, had passed away.
Yeah.
And she was just an absolutely loved member of our family. She was on the East Coast, so it was
She's
far
my
away.
godmother.
She was just a wonderful person. We were all very, very distraught about it. And she told us that she needed us to come in. Danny told us that she needed us to come in and do this Whatnot, and that she would rate us. And it's like, okay, whatever, we will do it.
She insisted.
She really, really wanted us in there. So we went ahead and put together a show that we were going to do, and that she was going to rate us into it. And we didn't want to stop the consistency of it, because if we didn't do a show after her,
we disappoint our people.
Not only would we have disappointed our people, but she probably would have never rated us again. I don't know.
There was always that.
So we come in, we set up the whole show. She's nowhere to be found. She kind of rolls in after when her show should have started, and we say, "What's going on?" She said, "Oh, I decided not to do a show today." And honestly, this is one of the only times that
red flag
that any of us, I think, have ever really gotten angry. We were all we were really sad that day. I know you were really, really sad that day. So we packed everything up, and I don't want to say stormed out, but we walked out in a rush and said, all right, we're leaving.
Well, Betsy was there.
Betsy was there.
And some of the other people.
So Rebecca was mentioning the security cameras at Good Stuff. I was the administrator on that account, so I could see the security cameras. And when we realized that something was up, I went back and I looked at it. We walked out of there very, very sad, distraught, and angry. And the immediate thing she did is she turned to Betsy and said, "Isn't that inconsiderate of them?"
Wow.
So that just plays into the whole narrative. Everything.
Misty has a question when you're
Sure.
done. Go ahead.
Sure.
Misty says, did she borrow money from you all? Seems like that seems to be her motive.
Okay. Once in a while, when we were out picking with her in the front seat of the car, she would ask to borrow some money. And one time I had lent her a very minuscule amount of money. It was like under $50.
Uh-huh.
She never paid me back. And it's anyway, no big deal. It's okay. Another time she asked again. And this time, as soon as she was finished making her purchase, we drove her to her ATM.
Oh, good for
So
you.
we are able to learn.
Good for you.
So from then on, if she ever did borrow money, she did get it back to us right away. I must say that she did. And I am going to say something else. And this is really, really important. After these Whatnot shows that we're talking about, we had to do them at her house because that's when she could no longer do auctions at the Good Stuff.
Right.
So we did them at her house. And after the auctions, after both shows were over, we would sit around and have dinner. Her family, her kids, and the three of us. And those were some of the happiest times we ever saw her. A lot of times we would bring dinner in. We brought pizza. We brought Chinese food. Sometimes one of the kids would cook, if you know what I mean. We would bring drinks in or dessert. And it was a nice feeling at that time. And I want to say those are some of the most relaxed and happy times I'd ever seen her. And we did it and we were happy to do it, happy to be there because we really felt like we were bringing a sense of family to them. And I guess I sensed, maybe I was wrong, I sensed that was a good thing for them, that she liked that. And it was nice. The dogs were around. We got to know the dogs. Her little dog Ozzy loved Gary. The little dog Peanut was always up in and we so sorry that Peanut has been lost. But it wasn't bad. It was good. And the reason why I'm telling you that is because that's what kept me involved because I thought that there was a positivity there. And that's why it made it so sad towards the end when we were discarded like yesterday's newspapers, because we had brought a lot. I couldn't even begin to name all the endless things that we did, the little things that only a friend would do. So
well,
if
someone is asking about when you helped her move.
Yes.
Did she pay you for all of the help you gave her for moving her, as well as the live sale, the estate sale that you did from that home?
Mima.
Absolutely not.
Oh,
not one penny.
No, I'm not surprised. Just a second, Mima. I'm going to have you repeat that question in just a moment. I want to give a backstory on the Whatnot sales. As someone who, and I'm not the only one, I'm sure other people like One Way Vintage and other people who were paying into her subscription, let me help you build your reseller business, who was on her Whatnot journey. I'll help you become a successful Whatnot seller. Occasionally we're like, yo, a raid from the Niche Lady. Wow, how awesome would that be? But yep. I know because I've experienced raids from the Whatnot or from the Niche Lady on Whatnot. It didn't always lead into more followers on Whatnot. It didn't lead to more sales. But nope, Chelsea, I can't raid into you. I promised Pick a Road I'd raid into them. And Chelsea, if I don't fulfill that promise, or by golly, Chelsea, they are just, oh, Chelsea, I can't tell you. Nope, they will just pack up and leave. Then they would hold that against, like she would hold that against me. Chelsea, if I don't do what they say, they'll pick up and leave, and you know how much I need that friendship and all these lies. And she would turn it around on you 100% why you would not raid into anybody else that was asking for a raid from the famous niche lady.
Well, Chelsea, don't you see that is the narrative? Is to turn everybody against each other. And
Oh,
that's what we learned. She tried to turn us against Sunny. She tried to turn us against Mikey. She especially tried to turn us against Mikey. I mean, it's just crazy. It's like we had no idea what was going on. We were fairly new to the area and certainly new to the picking community. And we had no idea. Honestly, because she had been friends with Tiffany and Tiffany seemed to be her friend, we thought that gave her a bit of legit.
Hmm.
And because everything that we've ever experienced with Tiffany has certainly been lovely. Honestly, we haven't talked to her in a long time. We wish her every good thing. But
And I want to just say
I
about
don't
what you
even
were
know what it was. Just everyone was tried to be turned against each other.
and what you were saying about Mikey a minute ago.
Yeah.
If you all saw on our channel earlier this year, we did a big street sale at the Antique Mall of America where Mikey, Sunny, Carrie, everybody was there.
Yeah.
Mikey and I kind of stood aside for a minute and compared some notes, and it was absolutely remarkable the things that we were being told about each other.
So we're very, very grateful now that we have friends. We absolutely adore our Carrie. We adore our Rebecca, and we want to see Sunny more, and we want to see Mikey more. So it was just a whirlpool of the wrong situation. That's all I can say. But that I don't know what else. It's
Yeah.
just it's
yeah,
just
I will touch back on that feeling that you're expressing right now. But Mima, please go ahead. I'm sorry, y'all. I just want to give a backstory of what was going behind the scenes and the words that were coming out of Danny's mouth at this time that they were doing Pick a Road, or she was doing Pick a Road dirty, and even before she was doing them wrong. Just give a little more narrative. But please, Mima, go ahead
And absolutely remarkable because, like we were saying, she was talking to you, and then the minute she'd get off the phone with you, she'd talk to us about everything she didn't like about you, Chelsea.
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
And you guys, I need to touch bases because I haven't had
It was-
I don't want to say I've had the opportunity. I've had the opportunity to tell my story, but my story goes back a while, and some of it goes really dark and deep. And so when that story comes out, I want to, cross stories and stuff with you and Rebecca and everybody.
Whatever you need. If we can help you in any way, Chelsea, just stay in the light, hon.
Yeah.
Just stay in the light.
Yeah.
That I have been since telling her to beepity 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 beep, click, 100%. So, yeah, Mima, please carry
All
on.
right.
Go ahead. hon.
Okay. Tell us about how she made you feel like you were on call all the time and the text messages and
Well, she did because again, this falls on me because I was the one she would. Well, if it was a tech issue, William helped her so much with her
Mhm.
tech. She had her son also doing a lot, but William did come to her rescue anytime she needed it. He really
Well,
tried to help.
Rebecca mentioned in the chat, like for instance, the security cameras for the thrift store for Good Stuff. I recommended the system. I created a foot-by-foot diagram of the store and then created an exact diagram of where each camera would go. So that it would cover everything as much as possible.
It was all used for the installation.
Set up the entire system. Did all
You
Rebecca?
didn't do the installation.
Rebecca's wonderful husband did all of the installation, going up into the rafters off of the diagram
So
that I
much work.
created, and then I
So-
installed the software so that it could be all visible. Set up the TV out there. I mean, it's just
so
much
how
work went
much
into it.
money do you think that would have cost her if it were done by someone else?
We
Thousands
don't
of
know.
dollars, I think.
For what you did, of
Yeah.
course, and for what Rebecca's husband did, he worked so hard in there.
Mhm.
The whole family did. But I want to get back to Mima, to what you said. She would text me at different times, and I am not going to get into it because I don't want to talk about personal things. But there are several things when I would make Gary, especially, let's go run with her when she was going to rent a house that had that possibly had some squatters in it, and she was afraid to go in there to check it out, and she asked us to go, and my goodness, weren't we there? And my big husband was in there checking out the whole place, make sure it was safe. When she had to pick up her new dog Cora, she asked us to go with her. We were right there. All these things.
Fish store.
The fish stores, oh my gosh, I can't even, moving items. She would buy something.
I get a text message at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night saying, I'm at the Goodwill in so-and-so location in Vegas. Here's a photo of the shelving unit I just bought. Can you show up at 8 a.m. tomorrow and pick it up?
She would. So she did. And
Hey, Sonny, good to see you.
Hi, Sonny. And we gladly, hi, Julie.
Hey.
We gladly did it. We were acting as friends. We didn't know she was talking about us.
Yeah.
And I don't think it was naive on our part. I think we are just business people and good friends. And we didn't conceive of that could be going on. We didn't realize that was going on. So we continued to be her friend. And yes, she did thank us. That video you played earlier, yes, she did thank us. And yes, she did take us out to dinner for doing that. Yes,
Wow.
she did. She did take us out for doing
the famous steakhouse.
Yeah, we did. And we took her there many times too. And we paid a lot. When all of us were out together, we picked up the tab a lot. When the kids were out with us too, we did. But that's fine. That's what friends do. And I hate that. I hate talking about it even because it sounds petty. But
Right.
she did buy some and we bought a lot.
Mhm.
But, and we've always paid for all the gas. Of course, we would never.
Well, didn't you drive her somewhere that was
We
out of
drove her to
town? one
Reno and
time?
back.
Yes.
She said
Did
she
you give her
paid for
gas
that trip
money?
100%.
She did pay for some of the gas for Reno.
Okay,
We paid for all the food. And she paid for a hotel room in Virginia City because she wanted to stay overnight. And we didn't particularly care to, but she paid for the hotel room.
Uh-huh.
So I am going to be completely truthful. She did pay for stuff, but we paid for a lot. And she never bought our friendship. She never paid for all the things that we did for her. And I really hope she hears that. And I really hope she thinks back in her heart of hearts and really realizes the truth of what good friends we truly try to be.
Oh, you guys went out of your way. I could see it just as a viewer watching you, what you did with her. And that I could see that there were fun times too.
There were.
That when you went to the swap meet, you guys were singing songs and you guys had fun and stuff
We
like
did.
that. I can get that.
We did. And I like to think that was some fun times for her.
Well, I'm
when she's under a lot of pressure.
Yeah.
We know that, to keep all the balls in the air and all the plates spinning. We are too.
The three of us are naturally positive people. We're optimists. We are very positive and we like to have fun. And in many ways, looking back and in retrospective, I feel like sometimes that fun was taken advantage of to boost, her content
That's the thing, is that we were being, we're not Pollyanna. Oh my goodness, we cuss when we're really upset.
Mhm.
Believe me,
Darn.
we're just, no, seriously.
I'm kidding.
Seriously. But with that said, when we were in the car and we were singing songs or having lively conversation, oh my gosh, we were doing it honestly.
Yeah.
And now in retrospect, to find out over all this past year, how much trash talk she was doing on us,
Mhm.
it makes you feel really bad. It makes you feel really, really bad. And it makes me question my decisions, but I can't.
But you have to realize that if we're going to say she's a narcissist, we'll say she's a narcissist. She has a mental disorder and she doesn't realize what she does, I don't think. And that's why we're trying to get her to see what she does to people so that she can change and make amends and make things better.
Yeah.
Because she hurts people immensely.
Yes.
Immensely.
Yeah.
And it needs to stop. So I have another question.
Hang on.
Sure.
Pause, Mia. Pause,
about-
Mia. Or
what?
not Mia. Pause, Mima. Sorry, my dog, Mia. All right, we need a word for you. Okay, I want to put a timeline in for the chat. So you guys say you were drinking the Kool-Aid under that web of friendship for about 20 months. So a year and 8 months.
It was, I can go by, it was early 2004. I'm laughing because did I drink the Kool-Aid? How about me running around the Paris flea markets trying to find her the perfect turtle to bring home for her?
Totally.
And I did that in Japan,
Oh, let me
in
say,
Chicago.
Paris. That Paris trip was a huge trip for us as a family trip, not only for our channel, but also just to have time in Paris, France with my brother David. And we took time out of that trip to do a live on her channel where it was 1 a.m. Paris time,
I remember.
prime time on her channel. We took the time to do that for her to
Because
show
we
off
wanted to-
things that we got at the flea market.
We wanted to make her feel included because I think she felt bad that we were gone away or something. So we tried to make her feel included.
She wanted you to pay for the trip.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
anyway, though, but yes, I'm sorry. What were you saying? These things
No,
are
you're
coming
good.
up.
So in that time frame of that year and 8 months that you've ballparked that you were under the cloud or drinking the Kool-Aid or just trying to be a decent human being and help somebody who's crying out for help, I want to say the first negative comment about you that I heard from her was shortly after the reality show started filming at the Good Stuff thrift store.
Mm-hmm.
And the last negative comment I heard about you was probably, I want to say, December of 2024.
We were already gone.
Oh yeah, you've been gone for 6 months. You've been gone since July. So from the filming at the Good Stuff thrift store where you were doing the reality TV show and everybody was kind of a character, how much time from that year and 8 months was she sabotaging you to somebody else? Like, if you were to do that math out of that year and 8 months,
Sounds like the whole time.
Whole time. I just want to put that out there for the chat because we're trying to prevent future victims and trying to bring forward other survivors of this.
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. So it was basically the whole time, Chelsea, and we were totally clueless until early in 2024 when it started really sinking in.
Wow.
So
I mean, I like to think of myself as a somewhat intelligent person.
But I brought you in.
Well, no, I'm getting at a specific point here. I like to think that I've got common sense, is what I'm getting at.
You do.
So she had said to so many people that she wanted to mentor them and help them make their channels succeed. There was one point where she said to me that she had read somewhere that you can get better views on your YouTube channel if you, when you go in to monetize your video, if you check mark the spot that says foul language and weapons talk. And I'm sitting there thinking, I'm not going to do that. And she's saying, no, you should do that. You should totally do that. So I said, oh, okay, well, maybe we'll experiment with that. I have never once done that. And I'm sitting there thinking she's trying to sabotage our channel.
She was trying to sabotage
Yeah.
channel for
That's
sure.
the thing. She says so many times, and I will say this right to her face. I'm not doing this big behind the scenes thing. Danny, you so many times have said that you want to mentor women. You want to be there for them. But what you leave out is that the minute they start to be successful, then you start the downward spiral. Because the minute we seem to start to be successful or whatever, one of the biggest turning points, I think, in our relationship was when we got this brilliant idea to film a challenge video. It was going to be Danny and Jordan against William and myself. And we had a list that was given to us by our viewers of 10 items we had to find in a certain amount of time. And whoever got the most items worth the most amount of money would win.
Based on sales.
Based on sales would win. It was
remember this. Oh my goodness.
It was just for fun.
It was fun. We were having a crack up time. It wasn't it didn't feel competitive or anything.
That we were all in the same car. We shot the video.
Gary was driving.
We shot the video all in the same car, and we thought we were having an absolutely amazing time with it.
After it was done, we did Jordan to the airport.
And then we did the back-to-back whatnot sales at her house doing all of this. And at the end of it, after everything was said and done, we tallied it up and we had won by a margin of what? $300.
Big,
Oh,
I don't know.
yes.
It was a huge
I
margin.
A
I
big
was-
mistake.
And
Big mistake. Oh my God. That
Oh
was
my gosh.
that was a turning point.
I tell you, when somebody went into her chat on her next live and said who won the challenge, she didn't even want to discuss it.
Oh, amen. You guys, I was a mod in both of these channels, both of these whatnot sales. And I remember her over the $100 item was a blow mold pumpkin.
Right.
Oh my goodness. When you guys, this is over worth $100. Oh, you guys, the bitter guilt that those guys got for not bidding that pumpkin close to $100. Oh, you guys. And this in retrospect would have been 2 years ago. It was shortly after the Boss Reseller Remix in 2023 in October.
Right.
Yeah, because Jordan was there for the Boss Reseller.
Right. Right.
Yes.
So
So I
that
want you guys
that
to
was
put
a definite, point in the whole timeline where, she had it with us, I guess. I don't know. We thought it was great fun. We never meant it as anything other than just a friendly video competition. It's fun. What if you play a game of Scrabble? Are you going to hate the guy who wins?
It was
was
the YouTube
ridiculous.
equivalent of throwing the board over the table.
I'm not going to throw anything. I mean, we gave it our best shot, and if they had won, we would have applauded them. So it's just I don't know, but red flag. It's not easy just to give a laundry list of red flags. But as we're talking about these different things, they're all coming out. And then this is what constantly built up to the point by early in 2024, we had it. So we were still on a friendly basis in terms of supporting her as best we could on NSN. But at that point, we were traveling a lot,
Mhm.
and we had just about had it. I remember when we were back east and we went to Mackinac Island and everything, I didn't look for a turtle.
Well, that's a step. I have another question. Because JDA, Dave, came in after you,
Right. He took our time slot.
he took your time slot. Did she say anything negative about him to you beforehand that you can share?
Oh my goodness. I honestly don't
I
remember.
don't believe the other thing is it's hard to remember who she was saying negative things about because pretty much anybody got something negative eventually.
You kind of need to write it down in a book to try
So
to keep track of it.
you before when we were talking off camera with Carrie, you and I, and you guys had this statement that said when someone left the room, something happened. So why
Oh,
don't
yeah.
you share that?
Yeah. But whenever it was, whoever wasn't there was the target, I guess. And I guess I don't know why we didn't get I guess we thought we were not going to be a target. I guess we thought we were not
thinking
in it.
we were thinking we were doing so much for her at that point.
She
how
couldn't
could she possibly be criticizing us when we're driving to pick up shelves or picking up kids and pets and family members and doing this and doing that? How could she possibly be thinking of that? And then eventually we started to realize it really doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if you're related to her. The minute you leave the room, you are the person being criticized. I can't believe that they didn't do 11 things for me. They only did 10 things for me.
It's just, I honestly don't remember.
How dare they not do that 11th thing?
Exactly. I don't remember her saying, because don't forget, by that time we were out.
Mm-hmm.
By the time JDA was coming in, we were out. So
okay,
at that point, she really had only one focus in her life, and that was Dawn.
Right.
And she was very interested in building that relationship with Dawn.
And we've talked to Dawn about this. In that time in which she was absolutely fawning over Dawn, she was also saying things about Dawn to people when Dawn was not around, when Dawn was not on the phone or live. It would be, Dawn does this that I don't like. Dawn does that.
We don't want to get into that, but there was a great deal said. So that's very confusing to us because that was her. It seems like she kind of needs to always have a primary relationship. And she was done with us. because I was no longer going to be, fawning over doing whatever she wanted. And
Mhm.
so she had moved on to Dawn. And so it was very confusing why she was, being critical of Dawn to us behind Dawn's back. It was all just, I tell you something, the only way I can sum it up. I mean, the whole thing sounds so ridiculous and so petty and so, I don't know what. The only way I can sum it up is when we finally did end that relationship. And believe me, the phone call from Dawn was a relief. When that
Mhm.
did end, it was like a weight was lifted because we no longer had to deal with that toxic environment. And, we're very sad about it. We don't revel in it. We don't think, haha, let's get her back. No, we're very sad about it because there were so many moments when there was camaraderie. And to think that that wasn't truthful makes us sad. And it feels like, we wasted a lot of time. And yes, she helped us start our channel. She did.
Mhm.
But we gave as much, if not more, than we ever got.
And we put that statement out, and that statement that we put out that night is still on our channel. You can go back and read it to this day. It's still posted on there. I think if you read that, it's extremely even keeled. We are in no way saying anything negative. We were simply stating the facts about what was happening, our shock that it had happened in the way in which it happened. And we thought, okay, we're going to put this statement out, we're going to let it go, and then that's it. That statement will speak for itself. Sure enough, we couldn't go an hour without the drama of her hacking our account, deleting it, and then doing it 2 more times before the night was over.
And then sending
Speaking-
out
Yeah.
an email to
Yeah,
people.
Speaking
Reaching out to our subscribers saying
Right.
things about us.
Right. Speaking
want-
of the hack, people
Yeah,
in the
just a
chat
second. I
want
want
to
Ema-
know.
I want
What?
to pause 1 second. I want to say that because you guys were talking about how she was saying negative things about Dawn to you and stuff like that. She was saying that one of the reasons you were so frustrated and started to show signs that you wanted to separate from the Knit Shopping Network, aka the NSN, is because you were never granted permission to do a co-sale with Dawn and to gain her jewelry audience. Would you guys like to tap on that before we dabble into your exit on NSN? I want you guys to dish on that because
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We hadn't known Dawn at all. We hadn't really talked to her more than maybe one time on a group
Yeah, it was a big
chat,
group chat, I think.
Well, I think it was just us, Danny and Dawn, just brainstorming for ideas. You bet I wanted to do a jewelry sale with Dawn. I thought she was really cool. We're both from the East Coast. I thought I'd have a lot of fun. No, I didn't want to take away her people. That's not my style. I wanted to learn even more about vintage jewelry. And I thought we would have a great time doing it together. Sure, there are so many different YouTube content creators and sellers that want to do joint things to cross promote each other. You bet. There was nothing wrong with what I wanted. I had no nefarious reason that I wanted to steal her people. I doubt that I could do that. She has a rock solid group of people that buy from her back east. That wasn't the point. The point was just to kind of do something together. We would love to do something someday with the Antique Nomad. We would love
Well,
to
we
do
did, and we did in one way.
We did in one way on
George
the show.
came into Good Stuff once, and we had a wonderful rapport with him that day.
We are so glad to do stuff with Carrie. I adore the woman. It was just a collaboration. I didn't want to steal anything. She was using her feelings and projecting them onto me. But you bet I wanted to do a show with Dawn, but not for any nefarious reason, just because I thought it'd be a good collab. And I think that she might have turned on against us. I don't know. I really don't. I'm surmising, but it never happened.
She totally did. She did with the back end conversations between the two supposedly owners of NSN and so-called producer. 100% she did.
I'm sure. So that was that. It never happened, and I knew she was probably sabotaging it, but it was nothing wrong. There was nothing wrong with what I wanted to do. So many people do that.
Mhm.
So many people do that.
And a lot of it gets down to possession. At that point, I think she was probably thinking that Dawn belonged to her in many ways, in
Whatever.
the same way that she said that Carrie belonged to her.
Whatever. We moved on. It
Yeah.
was fine. It didn't matter. And now we have a nice rapport with Dawn. I wish her nothing but the best.
Yes.
And we all are in the same victim boat.
Hi, Nancy.
Hi, Nancy. Good to see you. And I just want to talk about collab. I just want to get this in because I don't know when you guys are going to stop this. I want to get this in. One of the things I saw the other night was Jocelyn, Crazy Lamp Lady, was on, and she was asking whether or not we had seen the red flags. And I just wanted her to know that we did see the red flags, because when we were back east in the summer, we were in Ohio at Heart of Ohio with the Burner Brothers. And we were talking to them about her, because we know that they're friends. I believe they're friends, that we would love to meet her someday. But this is all along the same lines. We're trying to meet as many other content creators and people around the country as we possibly can. We've kind of lightly talked with Yvonne Thrifty Rich up in Colorado Springs that next time we get up there, we're going to get together and go thrifting together.
Next week, we're meeting with Carrie and another YouTuber that Carrie's friends with, who enjoys our channel, and the three channels are all going to collaborate together.
A super thrift. There's nothing wrong with that. Collaborations are normal and healthy among YouTube creators, as long as, the people doing it are normal and healthy.
At the street sale earlier this year, Sunny, Mikey, us, Carrie, there was a YouTuber there who said she was at 998 subscribers trying to monetize. We got her to 1,000 because we all wanted to support her.
That's what most of the community does.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's all we ever wanted from Dawn. Nothing else.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing else. And I think it got probably like Chelsea saying, I don't have to think anymore. Now I know it got turned into something ugly, which.
Okay. Now I want to ask my question.
Sure.
Before I forget it again.
So sorry, Mima.
Did you do anything after you found out that she hacked your email or your chat or whatever? Did you take any action? Because people wanted to know. Why didn't you take action?
Well, we talked to our entertainment attorney, and it just wasn't worth it. We have so much going on in our lives, so much positivity, so much. At that time, we had so much travel planned and everything. We didn't want to get into a long, protracted battle. We let it go. We didn't contact YouTube. Frankly, I'll tell you exactly why. Because she had 100,000 subscribers, and we had at the time 6,500 maybe or something. So we didn't know whether YouTube would even hear our case.
Mm-hmm.
It's I don't want to say we were scared, because that's not who we are either. We will take on whatever we have to take on, and we certainly will make the phone call if we have to. We talked about it, and we just felt it wasn't worth it. It was going to bring a whole lot of negativity. She would have probably strung that out as a whole series on her channel of what was going on and what we were doing and this and that. And we just didn't want that negativity at the time.
I mean, look at how many times she's referenced it, even without us pursuing anything. If we had, can you imagine how much more it would have been?
Exactly. And the truth is, we didn't know how YouTube was going to react. We are still a young channel, and the channel means so much to us and to our subscribers. We've built this community and this family, and we didn't want to injure that in any way. So we fixed it. William got her completely cut off from it, and she could never do that to us again. No. And that's it. That's the truth.
So sorry. So Mima, I'm so sorry. I got to do a back end story on this.
Yeah.
So when that comment or your story was deleted from your YouTube channel, at that time, you guys know her and Dawn were about to do a collaboration on NSN. And I made the comment because they were like, oh, they're being so quiet. I'm like, no, they made a community post on their YouTube channel. and she pulled it up. And at that time, she was still a manager on your YouTube channel. And
which
we're
was,
live in
which was only in relation to NSN. She had no legal right to do anything to our channel in the same way that I had an administrative right to her channel. And when our partnership with her ended, I voluntarily withdrew myself from that administrative role.
Because that's the ethical thing to do.
Exactly. So I made the comment that you guys had made a statement on your community post. And we're in the back room of NSN, like you guys are aware of what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
And Dawn was there, I was there, Danny was there. They pulled it up and read it. And at that time, Dawn's last name was issued in that statement. And of course, a normal reaction was Dawn was freaking out because her last name wasn't really used. The moral or the proper thing would have been to reach out to you and say, could you please remove that last name, or, put Dawn.
Dawn did.
Dawn texted me,
Yes,
and we amended it and removed her name from it. Even though I do want to just say, even though Dawn's last name is public knowledge because it's in newspaper articles and print articles.
100%, just like Danny.
We would never dox anyone.
No.
Exactly. And then in the back end, I was there along with these other two double D's, Danny and Dawn, I like to call them. And look what I can do. The click, and delete. I was like, you had no right to do that. I told her that flat out in the back room. Yeah. You had no right to do that. And then she
not only did it delete the actual statement, but it deleted over 100 instances of support from our viewers. There were thumbs up, there were comments, and it was a lot of them.
And these were our people. These were our peeps.
And when we reposted it, and she did it again 2 more times, both of those times, there were even more. Honestly, it was probably about 500 instances of positivity towards us that got deleted by the end of that night.
Yes, 100%. So I wanted the chat and everybody watching, we're at 700 viewers right now. And I wanted them to know what that was, and going in a little further depth. So watch what I can do, click. And then wasn't shortly after that, she reached out to JDA. We have an opening on NSN, LOL.
Okay, yeah.
And Picker Road was fired. And you guys made the comment in your statement that you reached out to her about being fired from NSN, and she returned your calls and all that stuff. And she said, and on the back end, complaining to a friend about a friend that she does, they never once reached out to me and said, what's going on? They never once tried.
That's not true.
She blocked all of our calls. And when she did that, she was live on YouTube. She was live at the moment when all this was happening. So we went on there. I have a personal account. She has a personal account. Gary has a personal account. We went on there first on Picker Road, and we left a comment in the chat saying, Danny, why aren't you returning our calls? One of her moderators then blocked Picker Road from from posting comments on there, switched over to my account, did the same thing, switched to her account, did the same thing, switched to his account.
We didn't say anything negative, nothing that anyone knew. We just said, why aren't you returning our calls?
It took
simple as that.
It took about 10 seconds for a moderator or for her, whoever it was, to click that comment, delete that comment, and block us from the channel in that moment.
And she goes on lives, and she says that true friends reach out and have a dialogue or something. I'm paraphrasing. We tried, Danny, and you blocked us. You couldn't face us because you knew what you'd done, and you couldn't face us. So.
And if you're watching, Danny, which I'm sure you are, you've also been at 3 different sales and public sales where you've been within 15 feet of us and you didn't come up and say a word.
No. So, I mean, we are not pretend friends. We never were. But
you know.
If you know, you know.
Okay. Can I ask a question?
Oh, hang on. I'm getting text. Oh, sorry, Mima. I'm getting text messages from somebody. I just want to say, anybody that is mentioned in this, by no means are you encouraged by anybody to reach out to these people. These people are all victims, aka survivors of this person. please, by no means. We're all on the healing process. Leave them alone.
Thank you. Thank you, Chelsea. Yeah, we really mean it when we say we want to move forward in positivity. And we have so many things planned for our channel, so many great things. And we love the community that we have created at Picker Road. And when somebody says, I joined the journey, it just makes my heart sing, because it was out of the darkness of the pandemic that the idea for Picker Road came to me, because I saw that a lot of people were alone. And I'm a bit empathetic, and I wanted to create something that was fun, that they would enjoy, and they would also feel camaraderie and not be alone. So that's what that's about.
I think that you guys have put that across in your channel.
I
think
know.
your channel is
I know,
very
maybe too much so, but I guess I guess I get overly zealous. I get overexcited because this has come to fruition.
Well, there've
A
been
lot of hard work. We've put so much into this channel,
Yeah.
and we have to work hard to pay for it.
Yeah.
And we're so grateful to everybody that supports us. And it just means a whole lot. We want to grow and grow and have more and more people. And
there's been a lot of discussion in your lives about how she was always scared to meet her fans. You know, that somebody would come from far away and they would come to the good stuff and she wouldn't come out and meet them. There were some times where you had to say, go out there and meet them. They just want to take a picture with you. We love meeting people who have joined the journey. When we are out filming and people say, we watch your channel, we love your channel, they get a wristband, they get a selfie. We take selfies with them and we put it in the videos because we love
as long as they want to.
As long as
they
they're
don't have
comfortable.
to.
Yeah.
We have
yeah.
a lot of people that don't want to do selfies. We just want to talk.
But it's just, you know, when we're filming and somebody comes over and says that, I cut the camera and we go and chat with them for a few minutes. We don't say, oh, we're in the middle of filming, don't bother us, you know.
Thank you, Nancy. Love you.
Thank you, Nancy.
We saw Nancy in Missouri.
We met Nancy in Missouri while we were on our big road trip. The community that we've created is honest and true. It's positive. We love what we do. And you know,
it makes us really sad
Yeah.
when she spreads things to her viewers or says negative things. Now, granted, she hasn't been saying anything using our name. It's kind of, you know, intimated or something like that, but that's fine. We don't want to say, we're telling our story. We're telling our truth. And these are the truths that she knows. I'm not going to, you know, say horrible things or talk about the darknesses. I just want to tell, you know, the truth of what happened. And maybe she can at some point realize that when really nice people are trying to be friends, it's not a good thing to totally destroy them behind their back. It's not good. It's not a good thing to do. And it makes you end up alone. That's all.
I have a couple of other questions.
Sure.
That I think people would be interested in, because there's all this money that she's made for the Niche Foundation and other things like the turtles and all that. And there's all this money that's been given to her and made, and nobody knows where it is, where it's gone, what happened to it. Why doesn't she have this money? Do you guys have any, you know, from being around her and stuff, do you have any explanation for what's going on? You know,
Mima, we don't, because the niche, because don't forget, I was watching her before I even met her. I went during the pandemic and everything. And I saw that she was, soliciting for the Niche Foundation. She had the little logo up in the corner and she was talking about it. And, I thought it is a valid thing. But by the time we came into her orbit, she wasn't talking about it as much. And we have absolutely no experience of what she did and what was happening. And on the flip side, the turtles were after us.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So so we only saw what anybody else saw, and
Mhm.
that Bobby was knitting the turtles for her. So we have absolutely no knowledge of that whatsoever. She never really talked finances with us, except what we were out doing or thrifting. But in terms of other things, there are other people who had much more access to that than we did.
Yeah.
She never really got into that with us.
Mhm.
But I will say, I think it's wonderful what VAD did in getting the eclectory that money. I think it's amazing, and how amazing all of her viewers, probably some of them here tonight, had donated. I mean, that's great. One of the shows we do, and now this is a cable show. This is not George Clooney. This is a cable
Mhm.
show, but it's an animal rescue show. We're going to be in Florida in December filming in the Keys for turtle rescues
Mhm.
and other things too. We're going to be at the Hemingway house with the famous cats. But anyway, it's a wonderful thing that VAD did, because these rescues we have seen firsthand for many, many years, whether it's dogs, cats, turtles, birds, whatever.
They need the money
They need the
yesterday.
money yesterday.
Right.
There's just very little grant money anymore, and they really rely on donations so much. So I just want to applaud VAD for what she did.
Yeah.
That was
I
amazing.
think that was awesome.
Awesome.
Somebody
Awesome.
else earlier asked, did you ever see Niche Lady teach, mentor, or an underprivileged or homeless woman in need of learning to thrift and resell?
Never.
Okay.
Never.
Never. And how about the whole premise of the Niche Foundation? Did she ever talk about it to you? Did she tell you how passionate she was about it? Was there anything discussed about that with
I
you?
don't remember.
Honestly, I really don't
You're the
remember.
one with the memory.
It had happened before our time, and so many of the things that we've heard from all of these videos are new to us.
Yeah. We were learning about stuff, but it was before our time.
It was.
During our time with her, it was all about the good stuff.
She
and
would
those
focus so much
charities.
in on good stuff and
And the
all of that.
charities that were there.
Yeah.
And we have no knowledge about what any of them got.
No.
We have no idea whether they were paid. The only thing we do know is that we did hear many times that the people who were running the front desk and the cash register were told to ask people to
Round up. Yeah.
round up. But we have no knowledge as to what the charities actually got. And that was pretty much everything we heard about, was the good stuff. It was all about the good stuff, making that work, that and the filming.
There's talking here. I don't want to answer it or not about Christy. Did you know a Christy? There's a Christy Wilson. Did you ever meet her? There's another Christy.
We don't use last names, but yeah,
We've never met.
We never met, but there was a Christy that when we were setting up our Shopify shop, I guess at the time William was new to it. I mean, William can do anything on the computer. Me, not so much. But Christy worked with William to help. There was a couple
when you set up a Shopify, you have to build specific shipping profiles based on weight, location, all those different things.
Right.
And it's a very different format than any other platform I had ever used, from eBay to whatnot to any of those.
It certainly wasn't a film. It wasn't a film platform.
So it was not my space necessarily. So Danny put me in touch with a Christy, and that Christy and I talked for about 3 days. I want to say it was about 3 days.
It's just very helpful.
I gave her a temporary administrative access of our account. She set up the profiles. I thanked her. We
profusely.
we offered to buy her a Starbucks gift card, I think is what we said, and she gracefully said, "No, thank you. I'm just glad I was able to help." That is the only contact we ever had with her.
But she was extremely helpful and knowledgeable, and we still are grateful to her to this day for helping us with that little speed bump.
Yes, and we've followed everything that's been going on with that, and we're just as curious as everyone else.
We don't know why there's this big mystery. I don't know. We don't know anything about that. How there's so many different people with that name, but
Mhm.
the one that we dealt with was very knowledgeable, and we were very grateful for her help.
So it may not be the same Christy. Who knows?
Who knows?
I don't know.
Who knows? Okay.
And I'm reading the
So-
comment from Patricia on here. I just want to say thank you for the kind words. Thank you all. I've been trying to read the chat as we're
Yeah.
talking, and it means so much that the chat is saying such
You guys
kind
are
words.
amazing. We thank you so much.
It's the
Somebody
positivity
wants
that
you
we
to
that we
put
base
your-
our channel on.
Somebody wants you to put your link for Pick a Road in the chat. So if you have a minute, you can do that.
Absolutely.
My
yes.
other question was, if you had a chance to meet with Danny face to face,
Mhm.
what do you guys think that you would talk about? And what would you say to her?
Oh my goodness. You know, she did a number on me, woman to woman, girl to girl. I got my guys to be there for her. And instead of being grateful, she really did a number on me. And I would ask her why. Why did she do this? Why didn't she just say from the beginning, I don't want to be friends? A big reason would be why and how. But then I'm coming from a perspective of somebody who wouldn't do that to somebody, not because I'm an angel or anything. I just don't operate that way. So I don't know if she's even capable of answering that question. I would wish her peace, because I think the way that she's going through life is not bringing her any kind of inner peace. And I know she does a lot of Christian talk.
Mhm.
I mean, I was raised a Catholic. I
Right.
like to think I know right from wrong. I'm not a holier than thou or anything like that. But when she keeps talking about being this Christian and everything, in the time that we were with her, that's not what we saw. That's not what we
Mhm.
saw. And I would want her to reconcile herself to, try to see what's going on around her, and maybe not be so unkind to others. Maybe actually live what she talks about. And most of all, I would want Danny to face me, confront me
Mhm.
anytime she wants. I'm available, before she ever spreads a lie about Picker Road. Because Picker Road is my baby, and I look at it like a child. And before she ever says anything against Picker Road, my son, my husband, come to me, Danny, face to face. We'll film it. You have something to say about me? You have something negative to say about Picker Road? You have to come through me, Danny.
I'm proud of you saying that. You took the front seat back, Harleen.
I'm sitting in the front. I'm riding shotgun, Mima. I'm riding shotgun.
You sure are. You sure are. What a way to tell her. What about you, Will?
I don't know if I could say anything better than that. I It was a very interesting, dark, frustrating time.
I'm sorry.
I'm very sorry for the people who are still involved in it. I'm sorry for the people who have no escape from it. They deserve better.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if they're watching. If they are, I hope that they can figure a way to
We
escape it
wish them
someday.
luck.
We wish them so much peace when they do finally maybe escape it someday.
Did you have anything to do with them, the people who are still there in her corner, the few that are still there in her corner, and what can you tell us about them
I
or
didn't
tell
hear
us?
the first part of the question. It broke up.
Well,
About who?
the people that I'm speaking about are the people we agreed that we're not going to talk about on here, as they were minors when all of this occurred.
Is that what you're talking
Yeah.
about?
So
No,
I'm just
that's not
saying my
No, she's not talking about that.
I'm
Hmm?
talking about Melissa. I'm talking about
oh
Oh.
Melissa. Well, Melissa, I'm so sorry if she's watching. I hope she totally understands. When we were at Broadacres and we were doing those lives and Melissa was moderating, every time the camera was muted, oh my goodness, the things that were being said about you, the things that she would say about you, like
Melissa, save yourself.
you are no human being deserves to be treated like property like that.
No. Well, I don't want to say too much.
Yeah.
All we would want to say to anybody who is following her is look at our example. Just look at our example. We're telling our truth. You've got a family of 3 people, and we're all on the same page. We're on the same page with Rebecca, with Carrie, with I don't want to speak for anybody, but look at these people. I don't think we're all wrong. Maybe 1 or 2 of us, but not all of us.
I want to say
it's
I gotta
a
say one more
hard time.
I gotta say one more thing if Melissa is watching. I'm a type 1 diabetic. I have been since I was 14 years old. I wear an insulin pump. That makes it very hard to lose weight. So I've always been on the heavier side most of my life. Nobody deserves the kind of body shaming that she has gotten behind the scenes too. So I just hope that she understands that that's the tenor of the conversation when she's not around.
Well, you know what? We just want everybody to wake up and smell the roses because it's interesting. It's an interesting situation, and we wouldn't begin to preach or tell anybody who they should and shouldn't watch or support or anything like that. But just know the truth about who you are supporting and then make that choice. But then know that it is also on you for any future people who are drawn in. So, it's just, I think we've pretty much said it all. We just hope that nobody gets hurt. We really don't want to see any vulnerable people get hurt.
that's the whole
I just
purpose.
have one question for the 3 of you. When I was first brought or introduced to Danny, I mean, I heard the stories. I was told, be careful. But I thought to myself, if something negative was going to happen to me, I'd see it coming.
Yeah.
I swore I'd see it coming. And I was like, boom, blinded, like getting hit by an airbag.
You and me,
It hit me
you
so
and me
fast.
both. You and me both.
So you felt the same way, right?
I thought I would know. I would know. I gave myself enough credit. I dealt with everybody that you can think of in terms of walks of life. And I thought, man, I would see that coming.
Yeah, I felt
That's
the same
why-
way. But I want to thank you for coming onto the panel.
thank you.
You've really opened. Sorry, my voice. Sorry, I haven't been on, but my voice is like horrible.
Oh, you're fine. You're
No,
fine. No, it's
you need some hot tea.
yeah.
Yes,
Hot
that's
tea.
why I'm talking as limited as possible. I just wanted to thank you because you really opened a lot of eyes and answered a ton of questions.
Well, we thank
And
you,
I
Dave, for
appreciate
giving
that.
us the platform, you and Mima and Chelsea, for giving us the platform to tell our story, to tell our truth. We don't want to hurt anybody. We don't want to cause any
Nothing
friction.
malicious. We're all, and I agree with you. I've asked Danny several times publicly and in private email, talk to me. I'll do a side by side with you.
Mhm.
Because you keep saying that I'm twisting the words. I'm not twisting anything. I'm reading it as you texted to me.
Right.
It's unreal.
Well, we wish you healing, Dave. We know
Thank you.
you've been through a lot and you don't deserve
Yes.
it. And we're so sorry.
Thank you.
Maybe that time slot was cursed.
It was.
Something about that time slot.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Well, we've moved on.
Well, I always pushed back. She didn't like me from the get-go because I always pushed back.
Chelsea, do you have any
Even
more?
like you guys did too.
Chelsea, do you have any more questions or something that you want to say to Pick a Road? Chelsea, there you are. Comments? Chelsea.
Oh, I just saw her pop on.
She's here, but she's not
I'm
talking.
here. I was muted.
Oh,
Oh, Chelsea has such a big heart for everyone. And out of any of us, she took I feel, the most abuse by Danny.
I think so.
The most.
Yeah.
I think so.
And we're all here to support you, Chelsea. We really are all here to support you.
You're going to be fine, my dear. No worries.
The 80s kids are good.
Chelsea.
I'm here, Mima. I can't talk without you saying potato.
I didn't
Potato,
say
potato.
potato.
I know, but I can't talk without saying potato. But
It's okay, Chelsea.
It's
If you need
okay,
to just say
sweetie.
it,
You're going to be
just say
fine.
it.
You're going to be good.
You're going to be good. You've come out the other end. That's the first obstacle.
I just want you to make sure that you cover what you want to cover.
I just wanted to, whenever they shared their story, I just wanted to give the other side of the coin what was said about that story.
That's fine. That's fine.
Yeah, that's fine.
At Picker Road, I still have my hot dog cow right here.
Aw, you got hot dog.
Dog.
I have my hot dog cow. They know what I'm talking about. And I
They
felt
do.
so bad because after they were supposedly fired from Picker, or not Picker Road, supposedly fired from NSN, like it was a day or two after, I received a package from them because I bought glowy glass because I'm such a fan of Gary getting his car.
Yeah, we can't wait.
They sent me a cow on parade free just because I expressed my love for them and cows, and I have it right here in my studio and I see it. And I expressed that you guys sent me that, and I felt so bad after you guys being let go or fired from NSN. Well, Chelsea, you should list that on eBay. Maybe you'll get a couple bucks for it. They didn't mean to send it to you. And the stuff that I was told, Chelsea, they're going to be in Salt Lake City. You're so close. I'm like, yeah, maybe they'll, we can meet up. No, you don't have a YouTube channel. Why on earth would they let you? Why on earth would they want to meet up with you?
You know what?
Do you know how many of our viewers we met on our road trip? Not a single one of them have YouTube channels.
No, what that is when someone does that, Chelsea, they're projecting their feelings.
Yeah.
They wouldn't do it. They don't know that she doesn't know who we are, obviously. So that's a
Harleen
projection.
Harleen and Will, Visions of the West Coast, Dana, who's the other one that was hit really hard
I know.
financially
Oh my God.
by Danny.
So sorry.
She is saying thank you for telling your story as well.
Oh, thank
Well,
you.
thank you, Dana, for being so brave and
Yes.
coming forward.
Yes.
Thank you, Dana. And
Yeah. When I saw her story, I posted mine right after. I said, wow, this woman, I told Danny when her and I had our last falling out, I said, I have a phone full and I will expose everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I promised her I would.
Dana,
But then she told me that no one would ever listen to me.
Dana, so much respect. It takes a lot to speak your truth like that, and really, truly, so much respect.
yeah, absolutely, Dana. We wish you
Yeah.
so much healing. And
Gail-
Rebecca, you didn't lose us.
Gail wants to know if you were paid for moving your whole store out when the air conditioning failed.
Oh no,
Or
and
at a meeting.
you only saw it once. You
Yeah.
only saw it once. It happened twice.
We didn't even get a reduction in rent.
No.
That's crazy.
We still paid full rent that month.
Oh
And
my
to
did
look
she
at-
help you move any of your stuff in or out? I doubt it, right?
No.
Yeah, two times. Two times
We
it
did
happened.
it twice.
Gary's
That's
doing.
crazy.
Gary's going two
He
times.
remembers every single box.
No.
Oh
I
my
want to
goodness.
know this question, and I want to see Gary. Gary, how soon did you want to get the heck out of Dodge with the whole family, but you were stuck holding and waiting for them
Thanks
catch up.
to his wife.
Okay, I'm not wearing a microphone. I want to say hello, everybody, and
Hi,
thank you all for
Gary.
your support. In answer to what Dave said a little while ago, we were all bamboozled by a master manipulator,
Mhm.
and
It's
we were,
okay.
we were all sucked in.
It was me, and I'm taking full responsibility for getting these two good guys to do the things because I thought I had a friend, and that's it. That there's nothing more to it. It was pretty cut and dry. It was pretty cut and dry. And I got them to do this stuff, and it's on me.
What I would like to say to Danny is we let you into our family. We weren't just bringing you in as a friend. We thought we were good friends, but we let you into our family. You blew it.
Yeah, she did.
Thank you, everybody.
I want
Thanks,
to say,
Gary.
I want to say something about this family right here. So, the Boss Reseller Remix. I want to say the first time I went, it was year 2. That would have been 2022.
Right.
I
You
was-
sat in front of us.
I
Hmm.
sat in front of you.
You had the cutest little hairdo.
I sat in front of you, had no idea who you were, didn't interact with you once until the golden ticket party.
Hmm.
Yes.
Everybody who knows about and that party was fun. I had a good time.
Yeah.
You guys were there. We sang karaoke. Carrie was swimming in the pool. Me and Sunny were sitting along the hot tub soaking our feet. It was a good time.
And Julie was there.
Thank goodness
Yep,
there's
and-
no videos of me singing Elvis.
Yeah, he was
Oh
singing
my goodness.
karaoke.
I sang more karaoke than you guys did.
Too good.
Some of the songs,
You sang, didn't you
Danny-
sing Neil Diamond?
I did Suspicious Minds and Sweet Caroline.
I sang Alone by Heart.
Oh yeah.
Meet Me in
Ooh.
I remember that.
Montana.
Yeah.
Meet Me in Montana
Yeah,
by
Rebecca.
Dan Seals. I sang 9 to 5 by Dolly Parton.
Oh yeah. Right.
Woohoo!
It was bad. Oh my goodness, you guys.
But
I
see,
wanna-
we can laugh now
What
Yeah,
a way to make a living.
because we were all together. We're all together now, and we can laugh about it.
Yes, we can.
I want
But
you to
wanna
take
say-
that.
Yeah, I want to say because I didn't really know you guys until after that party. You know, like, oh, you're that one girl that was sitting in front of us the
Yeah.
whole time. And then the next time I got to meet you guys was the following February when I flew in on my own dime for the grand opening at the Good Stuff Thrift Store.
Mhm.
That's it. You
And
did.
Gary, and Gary came up and hugged me and said, "Welcome home."
Aw.
Oh, sweetie. That's you still are welcome anytime. We'll pick you up at the airport.
And I know you would because Danny sure wouldn't. She never did. She did once only because she was dropping off her daughter at the same time. But every other time from the airport, it was either Brenda, I'm going to say Brenda, or I had to Uber. But yeah, I always felt like home when I was with you guys.
Oh, sweetie.
I always felt like a member of your family when me and you were in the back room of NSM before clicking that live button, and even after the live button, and even after the show of your show ended and we hit the stop and we were all getting on with our lives, and I was getting the text messages from Danny. Well, oh my gosh, what a crap show Picaro just did, or all the negative comments I would get about you. It's like, I didn't think it went that bad. I thought they did a good job. They made some sales. Will came out with a wonderful duck race. What a cute idea that instantly we all had to copy. Yeah. A potato,
What I
potato,
copied
potato.
from them was the little mascot. I have Mr. Snitchy.
Right?
Let me go get him. Let me get Mr. Snitchy.
Oh, go get Mr. Snitchy. Yeah.
I just want to know after it
Oh,
was
little white quail.
Thank
If-
you.
after it was all said and done, and you were over with. Did you guys just like take a big sigh of relief?
Yes.
Well, yeah, in the long term, there it is. There
There
we
it is.
go.
There he is.
And Rhodey-
This
and
is
Rhodey
my
says hi.
inspiration to get back at Danny.
No, it was
It was like a weight was lifted.
it really was. It was interesting because I felt like there should have been that catharsis almost right in that exact moment, but it was such a dramatic thing to have the hacking and the deleting and all of that
Right.
happening. It was only after that it would kind of was this step back and look and go, oh my goodness, it's finally over.
It's finally over. But remember, and I can't say we had started to distance ourselves incrementally all year long
Mhm.
I
Because-
kind of noticed that
because we couldn't go forward once we saw enough red flags.
Right. Right. It's just I can't understand how this person keeps doing this over and over with people, you
I
know?
can't. I can't understand. And look at so many people come out and tell their story.
Right.
It's just amazing. And
And she says that you're all conspiring and everybody's working together and this was a big plan and it wasn't.
no, it was not at all because she kept us all at odds with each other. Well, I mean, we weren't angry or at odds with anybody really, but in other words, she never wanted us to come together.
Well, I mean,
No.
there's no scenario where she could ever say that we were conspiring with, people when the move from the house was after a whole bunch of things went down at the store. It's like, we stuck with her through several things, and then she did that to us and said we were part of the problem the whole time. It was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous.
Nothing was going to make us turn on Carrie.
No.
Nothing was going to make us turn on Rebecca. These are good people.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful people. And it was a horrible sadness. And like I said, if anybody is questioning why Picker Road stayed at the Good Stuff, it's because we had spent a lot of money and energy promoting that spot on our channel. And we had viewers coming in sometimes to see us or to shop. And it was a terrible predicament we were in. It was truly a catch-22. And we made that business decision because we had spent so much on it and doing it. And right or wrong, some people think we were wrong. We respect that. But you also have to remember something. Tiffany was there.
Yeah.
And
Dawn was still there.
And Dawn was there. So we thought that all these people are still here. We missed Carrie something awful. And we were very sad that Sonny and Mikey left. But they left also for very specific reasons. It was really far for Mikey to go.
Other side of
I don't
town,
want to I don't
yeah.
want to talk for him,
Yeah.
but that's what we've heard him actually say. It was really hard for him to get there. So they left for very specific reasons. We were very, very sad. We were heartsick when Carrie left. We were confused and heartsick when she left.
Yeah.
Rebecca has a question that or one thing she wants you to talk about. What is it,
Yes,
Rebecca?
absolutely.
What is it, Rebecca?
Do you want to invite Rebecca in?
Yeah, we can.
I'll jump out if you want to invite Rebecca in because my voice is horrible.
I told Rebecca and I told One Way Vintage. I told Crazy Lamp Lady, I will publicly say Sunny Las Vegas, Mikey Bags of Money, Carrie, the Desert Mermaid. You guys have a Willy Wonka gold, and of course Picker Road. You guys have a Willy Wonka gold ticket. You guys say you want in, you're immediately in. Like I drop you the link. So 100%.
Thank you.
Yeah, you know what,
Thank you.
Chelsea? I'll jump out. Let Rebecca.
No,
come in.
you can
I'll
have
kick me
more
out if
people
Rebecca
in
can.
here.
Oh, honey, we can have up to 10. We just have
Yeah.
Oh, we can't.
You
Oh,
stay.
okay.
You
Yeah,
stay.
come on, Rebecca.
we just don't
Julie,
talk
if you
over
wanna
each
come,
other.
you can come as well.
So I
Well,
will.
while you're getting Rebecca in, I'll say just on that we were very fortunate that when Good Stuff did close, we had a bit of a soft landing because we were able to open a.
We had already opened it, I think.
The store had already closed and we had cleared out. I don't think she had given up the location yet, but we had a soft landing because we were able to move into a wonderful booth over in the Las Vegas Arts District.
We were invited to be vendors at Antique Alley.
So we have the Picker Road Boutique over there. And it's interesting because if you look at the timeline, I think a week after we opened that booth over there on one of her live streams, she started talking about how awful the Arts District is in Las Vegas, which is also the most up and coming spot in Western United States. The real estate there is going through the roof. People love the place. It's up and coming in every respect.
It's funky, like the Funk Zone in Santa Barbara, or it's arty like Greenwich Village. It's fun. And the most desired restaurant
Yeah.
in Las Vegas called Esther's Kitchen.
Is across the
It's
street.
right across the street.
People walk in with their to-go bags all the time. But the joke was she started saying all these awful things about the arts district, and then we find out a week after that she's trying to get a booth in there as well. And the managers are going, "Wait, didn't she say she didn't like this area?" So that didn't
Well,
happen.
Whatever. That's neither here nor there. But
Hi, Rebecca.
where is she? Hi,
Hi.
sweetie. Hey, there you are.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hugs, mwah, 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 mwah. Hugs and kisses.
Oh, you guys are so wonderful. You did so good tonight.
We all we wanted to do is tell our truth, and you know everything we said. You saw most of it, my dear. And
Oh,
please send a heart to your mom.
Yes.
I will. I told her today about how you guys were just like so endearing with her.
Well,
And
she's
she was like,
lovely.
yeah, she loved you guys. She
We
loved
love
you guys.
her. She's so sweet, and she worked so hard.
So hard.
So hard, Rebecca.
Yes, she did. She worked really hard. She definitely did. And she didn't get nothing. But one thing I want to clear up. So there's been lots of talk, and you and Will, Danny, me, and Carrie were in the room when this happened.
Mm-hmm.
Me and Carrie walked out immediately after she said what she said,
Mm-hmm.
and she's claiming that she didn't say. But maybe I'm mistaken. But what I remember, let me tell you what I remember.
Sure.
I remember walking into the room in her office.
In her office.
Yep. And you guys were sitting to the right, kind of in Carrie's desk area.
Uh-huh.
Carrie was over in her desk. We were sitting in just like that general area on the corner.
Yeah. Like in that little area. And you guys were talking about Mikey Bags of Money leaving.
Mm-hmm.
And I specifically heard Danny say and look at you guys and say, I'm going to take down Mikey.
Mm-hmm.
Did that or did that not happen?
That's what we heard.
That's what we heard.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure because she basically made it sound like I was lying.
No.
And that she said something, she twisted it and turned it. But that was really the turning point for both me and Carrie when we realized, what a horrible person she was, because Mikey never did anything. The other thing I wanted to discuss too, and not a lot of people know this, and I don't know how willing you guys are going to be wanting to talk about this, but do you remember the party, the before the opening party at Danny's house?
Oh, only too well.
That's what I was talking about earlier, in the fact that Mikey and I were able to finally compare notes, because leading up to that party, she was
sicking us on Mikey.
She was ginning me up on Mikey, saying that
Correct.
Mikey was saying all these things about me, while at the same time telling Mikey that I was telling him all these things that he's not allowed to do on his channel.
And
which
he would do as a director, and he did in a good way,
Right.
way. But that's what his job would be.
Well, no, I never told him a single thing he couldn't do on his channel.
No, of course not.
No. We were talking about like things on Danny's channel, and she was using that to basically sick the two of us on each other.
It's terrible.
And Mikey and I have had really good chances since then to compare, to understand that we were being totally played, which is so childish in the first place.
Right.
Well, so people probably are not understanding what we're talking about. To give a little backstory on this,
Sure.
is when Mikey and Sonny agreed, and I'm assuming so you as well, and Tiffany and anybody else that had a YouTube channel, when they agreed to, rent out a space, it was told to them at the time that they could use that for content. They could come into the store and they could record and use it for content, and it would help not only would it bring in people to the store, but it would also help them as well. And so, to my acknowledgement, before I had met, first of all, too, let's go back one more step. I've known Harleen longer than I knew Danny. Me and Harleen met at Dog Junkies.
Dog Junkies.
So, yes. So I've known her for probably a little bit longer, a couple months, maybe 3 or 4 months
Something like
before.
that.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like that. We met at
Yeah.
Dog Junkies.
Yeah, yeah. So, but I had never met, I mean, I had met your Will and your husband
Mhm.
briefly before
Right.
that. We really didn't have a whole lot of talks,
No.
just like a couple instances because I was always so busy.
Always.
Yeah. But at that party, I had no idea until that night when she told me that she so quote and said, "I'm gonna sick Will on Mikey." And I was like, huh? What are you talking about?
Had no
Um,
idea.
but what she had told me was that this is why she wanted these YouTubers in, was to bring the awareness. And what made me like support this is because she was telling me that they would also support the charities, which is what I was in for it for. I was in it for it to help the charities.
You brought them
So
all
You
in.
brought the charities in.
I sure did, and I'm still friends with them.
Right.
In fact, yeah. So, anyways, it was never brought to my attention about the reality show until like maybe a week before you guys started filming. I was never told anything about it.
You were supposed to tell all of you.
Yep, I knew nothing about it until like a week. Actually, I don't even think she told me. I think you guys came in just filming one day and then I was told.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, I put the microphone on you and you're like, "What's going on?" And I had been told at that point that everybody was on board. They had signed off on it. They were excited about it. I mean, it just,
Correct.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and no, I knew nothing about it. And then all of a sudden, I know that we're at this party, and she's telling me that she's gonna sick you on Mikey because, and here was the real reason that she wanted to sick Mikey or you on Mikey. It had really nothing to do with, the reality show. What it really had to do with is she did not want Mikey to post, or anybody to post, videos of the same day that she was posting videos. She wanted to be the first one.
Yeah. That's true.
Exactly.
That's
Yeah,
true.
she
That's what she said to us.
It was, if I remember correctly, she had purchased a like a medical diagram at a sale. We were with her at the sale when she got it. It was like a medical diagram of a fetus in the womb, and
Yes.
she had left it out in the main floor of the store. And Mikey came in and got a shot of it, like a nothing shot. Like, what is this weird thing that I'm seeing here, as he was walking by? And when she saw that he did it, she said to me, "That's my cover art piece. That cannot go up before mine. He posts his videos every day. Go tell him he can't post that."
Yes, I remember that. And
Yeah,
so when Mikey so basically when you were explaining to Mikey about how the reality show was going to work and how it was going to be posted and so forth, and you were doing it in a very professional way, but Mikey was obviously very upset because the promises that he was given, he was seeing weren't coming to truth. So he was not mad at you.
Oh, no.
I think he was upset because Danny had promised him these things and then was like reneging on those things.
Yeah.
Right.
We felt terrible because we were
Mhm.
we were doing it in absolutely the most friendly type of way,
Right.
because what we wanted to do is promote him and his room
Right.
and Sonny's room and Carrie's room. We wanted everybody to get, we thought we were doing a great thing for everybody by doing this whole video where they were going to be characters.
Yeah.
We were trying to boost. We had no idea she hadn't done her job to pave the way.
Well, and I can only imagine the things that were being said on the other side to make me seem like the bad guy or something, because you remember we were really at odds on that. And then of course, since then, when we've compared it, we realized that we were both getting ginned up against each other, which was just so petty.
It's terrible.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw both sides of it. And so, yes, I knew you were being pinned against each other. And that's what she did with everybody. And so when she made that comment about taking Mikey down,
Yeah.
that's, that's what upset me. That was really the turning point for me, I have to say, because Mikey
Give
had
me
never
one
done a
second,
bad
Rebecca.
thing. Nothing. He never talked negative. He was always upbeat. Every time that man came into the store, he was smiles and giggles. He brought light. He brought joy.
Absolutely.
He was an amazing guy.
Well, the
And
video that
Wait,
led to
wait,
that
wait.
whole
1 second. 1
conversation.
second, guys.
Yeah.
Chelsea, can you drop the link for Carrie to come in, please? All right, go on.
The video that led to that whole thing happening, he was doing a live where he was explaining why he was leaving the store, and there wasn't a single thing in that video which was actually negative. He was giving his reasons why. He didn't say any bad things about it at all. He was simply saying, it's the other side of town, I have to drive a long way, my wife has health issues, going all these different things. So
Yeah.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were
Thank you, Debbie
that point-
McBride, for the super chat. Go on.
Rebecca, by that point, we were so confused.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
we were brought in to try to do something that was professional. And we were working with somebody, her, who didn't know the first thing of being professional. And so we were
Right.
trying to make all of you feel good and comfortable. And instead, it just turned into a big cluster. And we're so sorry if anything we did was offensive to anybody, but it was certainly not intentional. And
Oh,
we have,
don't
I hope we have apologized to Mikey and
Oh.
Sonny, and we're so
you've
sorry.
over apologized. And you know what? Seriously, you have over apologized. And like all I have to say is like I knew in my heart, and you'll know this, I knew in my heart that you guys would come back to me. Because I even said it to you. Remember, I messaged you and I said, when it happens to you, I'll be here for you. Do you remember that?
I do. So shameful. You're such a good person. There's my girl.
There's my
baby
bestie.
loves.
Are you all
I miss
worked
your
out?
face. This is the first time I've seen
Hi,
Carrie's face.
Isn't she cute? She's so
I miss
skinny.
you, girl.
She's so
Me too,
skinny.
my pumpkin. I know. Well, I just came from the gym. I've got my buffalo shirt on. I'm
Aw.
sweaty,
I love it.
and my butt is sore. But anyway,
Aw.
besides that, listen, I got to put my glasses up because I can't see anything. But I'm happy to jump in with whatever you guys are saying. But you guys continue, and I'll jump
I
in.
was,
And
I was just
love
reading
to
this
Sunny.
comment here from Jerry's.
Okay.
That's a really important thing. What do we hope to get from all of these videos? I can only speak to tonight and our appearance here. We did not come here to drag her through the mud.
No.
We
that-
came here to clarify so many things that have been said about our relationship with her and what we went through and a lot of the trials that we went through, and our sincere hope that other people don't experience that.
Yeah. Jerry, we don't want to be dragged through the mud either.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah,
were
no
trying
kidding.
to clarify that.
My friends,
Because
pause one moment. There's somebody else that is asking to join that hasn't made it known that this person wants to join, but you guys, welcome in sunny Las Vegas.
I gotta say, if Carrie's here, wherever she goes, I go.
It's
That's
a
right, my
reunion.
girlfriend.
That's
No, it's
that's the
funny.
relationship I have with Carrie and Mikey, and that stands with Arlene and Will. And I gotta correct Arlene on this, and this is a good thing. All right,
Yeah.
when all of this
Correct
happened,
away.
when all of this happened to us, I ran into Will and Arlene at Goodwill. I'm the one that approached them, and I apologized.
Yes.
And very kind, very human to just listen to me. And I didn't say anything horrible. I just said I don't feel bad for anybody who's going through things after we left, right? That doesn't mean I was picking a side or mad that they were still with her, because there was no jealousy amongst anybody who has left, let's say, the dark side. So we ran into the story. This is back to what Arlene was saying and Will about the the antique place. When we met each other, that was not orchestrated. It was just random that we ran into them, and then we met people that follow us, and everybody helped get this person to 1,000 views just instantly. It was just like we were catching up. Unfortunately, also not really talking about drama. We were just almost like never missed a beat from the last time, right?
Right.
So I wanted to jump in at this point where Rebecca's talking about this event at the Niche Ladies at her house, because how it started off was, hey, good luck, or we're doing good. This is our plan to open up. I will tell everybody, I'm pretty sure I speak for everybody, including her, is that we all went into this as a team effort to say we're going to help everybody do the best that we can. That doesn't mean we're all going to make the same amount of money. We get different things. It's all random. But we were very supportive with one another, with everything. And I remember one of the, I got to ask Rebecca and Arlene and Will this, and Carrie, because things have been said about us that our names are never mentioned. And the thing is, she likes to paint a pretty damn good picture of who she's talking about. And if nobody knew who she was talking about, why do we get attacked in our comments? And I have screenshotted things. I have screen recorded things. I've had people text me, Facebook me, who were never following me before, that they're getting messages from this person, is either them or us, picking sides. And we've never cared to take anybody down, because it's never been any of our time to do, like, it was never in our heart to be like, we're going to be vengeful. And I've had an experience with her that I don't know if anybody has heard about at an event. So I've never gone to any more events.
Sonny, was it at a bowling alley at an event that
I've heard about it. Yeah.
I've heard about it across state lines. I heard about it.
I will save that for another story, but to skip back to a meeting, this was called, I think, a manager meeting or a management meeting for everybody that was running the booth over at her house. And I remember clearly, and this is to brag and to own my things. And that's one thing this has all taught me, is to own your good and to be humble, but own it at the same time. Mikey and I know he doesn't like nobody mentioning his name, but this is a good thing, Mikey, if you're listening. Mikey and I, through Rebecca's mouth to our ears and her mouth to our ears who were there, if it wasn't for me and Mikey, it would not have been a good first month. She was doing pretty damn good and being successful, but yet everybody else who was doing their part were the ones struggling to make rents. So it's kind of hard to be like, what? That's not what happened. And these little lies turn into big lies, and they turn into snowball effects to where it's like, what's the point of all this? Why can't you move on? And if people are asking that about us, it's like, how can we move on when people are still wanting attachments with us? And there has been people that we talked about, which is not everybody, because not a lot of people have heard what we've had to say. Is that's the whole point. We don't have to go around and jump on YouTube for views, and we don't manipulate our viewers to side with us to attack people. And I find that to be very discerning and very distrustful, that you rely on strangers who are hearing your story for the first time, but weren't there in the beginning, and assume about us as if you know us because you heard from somebody about us. It's just, there's so much to talk about, and I would love to be on here a long time. But when I seen Carrie come on and hearing Arlene, and it was really nice, honestly, hearing Jocelyn come on, because you don't expect this from a lot of people. You look at it and they're like, nobody's ever going to talk. And I've told Carrie this for the longest time, from the very beginning, even before we started seeing this drama, is that I'm the type of person that will wait. I will let you keep running your mouth, and I will save all these facts, and I will document it. So when the time comes, I will do what I'm supposed to do. I'm just not going to try to fight with everybody just because, or fight with one person or argue with them for every little thing they say. It makes no sense. You just have to know your time and place. And I think we're all coming together at a time and place for ourselves that happens to be almost in the same moments.
You guys, I just got to throw this out there. Like, I wasn't going to show my face tonight, and I know my beautiful Carrie, the Desert Mermaid, wasn't going to show her face after going to the gym. The moment, like, she jumped on and Sunny in Las Vegas jumped on, we want to show our faces, because we are not victims of Danny the Niche Lady. We are survivors. We are survivors, because we are still here. Each one of us have been affected in some way, somehow, by some story or another of the S word.
Yeah.
And we are survivors,
Yes.
you bitch. Damn
And
right,
you-
Chris Foreman just said the B word. Ah!
Oh my God, Idaho!
Yeah.
I think the clouds are gonna fall.
Oh my
Uh,
word.
Right.
I know, and I wasn't gonna. I don't have any proof of anything that I say. That's the big issue, because I know people want to see screenshots and this and that, and I don't have that. So it's a she said. But what brought me out the first time was talking about my sister, and you guys know that situation. And I'm like, okay, now you cross the line. Like, you could say all these other stupid things, because I know better about that as well. Yeah, thank you. But I'm not going to talk about the rest of it. But everybody that knows. And you don't do that was a major line crossed. And not only to me, to you, Chelsea, to JDA, that's just so wrong. It's so deep down, horribly, horribly wrong. Like everything else that happened to me, nothing, whatever. I could care less the crap that she said. Oh, she's a liar. See this, see that, whatever. The minute you cross that line, now let's go. Now I'm ready. Now I'm ready.
I'll tell you, that's what put my fire under my pot to get me doing what I'm doing.
Yeah.
When she hurt you,
Yeah.
that was it for me. I was done.
But everything that she's ever texted to me, that was the one text that even burned me deep, because of what I went through with my own son.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just burned me. And it was painful for me to send it to you, because I knew how much it hurt me. And I had to share it with Chelsea, because she made fun of Chelsea.
I know.
It's unreal.
Yeah, I'm going to say that I've never heard her talk about Chelsea, because Chelsea was on a different milestone of where we were already leaving, and she was there in a way if you're beginning and starting. But I gotta add to the Melissa part. I had no idea who Melissa was until I started hearing it from her at the Broadacre Swap Meet, because I say that because my videos were mostly going to the Broadacre Swap Meet, and there was a lot of things that it may not be big to you, but it was big to me. I'm going to try to bring up two things on this. It was big to me because she was saying it's a dangerous place and she didn't trust people, playing the victim. And although I'm a guy, I've never witnessed or experienced anything bad. Do bad things happen? Maybe yes, but it's not that type of place. And then with Melissa, she was bringing her up, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And then it didn't dawn on me when I would go into live chats of her and see Melissa username as one of, say, the mods. And I'm put two and two together, and there she was. And I was like, oh my goodness. And it wasn't even until Vad's video where she started digging into more things. And people might ask, like, why didn't we know what was going on? And I think Arlene and Will said it. We're just too close. If you're a good person and somebody's portraying to be a good person, that's all you're gonna see until red flags come up. And
that's so true, Sonny. That's so true.
Until red flags come up and now you spot it, then you don't really question red flags. You automatically start seeing it. And what was supposed to happen is, how it started for me was that I ended up leaving the store because we had a contract. It was 6 months. We finished our time there. So I'm going to add more to that too. But if we have a contract and you finish it, any of y'all who are listening to this, do you have any obligations to extend that contract? If it's good, you stay.
No.
But on the flip side of two things of that is that my wife, I had found out, had a hole in her heart, and that's how it was brought up to me. And I was like, oh my goodness, like this is the love of my life. I've changed my life because of her, and then doing so much better because of her, that I was in fear. And then people were leaving comments saying, oh, it's just a heart murmur. Well, that's your experience of knowing more than what I do. And something for me, it was just huge. I don't know what I'll do without my wife. I know I wouldn't do anything crazy, but my wife is my everything. And Carrie knows it. Anybody I talk to, I even talk about on my YouTube, my wife, my wife, my wife. I praise her for everything.
You do.
And then the money part, I do want to ask, or back to the perks. I got to make this clear. Did anybody ask for special perks?
What do you
No.
mean?
From the thrift store. Did we ask for special perks to be in the thrift store?
No, I want to throw this in there because she was sure to make point to her viewers
Right.
your guys' Christmas present that year of it was prior to the grand opening that you and Mikey and Carrie and Picker Road, you guys got 50% off your rent that month for Christmas.
No. We got $50 off.
$50.
Not
$50.
50%.
Us.
All right.
believe
I
it was
did
50%.
get one free month, but when I was signing up for that booth, she told me I was going to get the booth for free.
Yes.
Period. As
Yeah.
part of,
Same here.
because I got paid $13 an hour and I never got paid. So that was
Well-
like that was my gift for Christmas from her. And because of working with her and doing all the 8 million things that I did for her, including picking up kids, taking care of kids, feeding kids, blah, 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 all the extra stuff I did. So that was her payment to me, which was appreciated. And I was grateful for that, even though I couldn't get anything in my booth.
Well, to go back on what Sonny was saying, so I know specifically what he's asking,
Yes.
and it was 100%. In fact, it was way strict. Like Danny came to me and said, they are not to get anything. They can't come in the back room and look at the new stuff. They can't cherry pick anything, nothing. And so they never asked, by the way. They never, in fact, it was always Danny that, like, if something got donated that was like in their area, she would be like, well, ask Mikey or ask Sonny to tell you how much this was or how much we should sell it for or to look it up. So they would come in, and it's not their job to look up stuff for us. It's, but they did. They graciously helped me out, figure out, because I'm not familiar with a lot of things. But they were never given any discounts. They were always told that they couldn't, go in the back room and look at things. They never got, none of the people that rented there got any special treatment whatsoever, except, unless you count, like, what did she give us? Pizza one time? I think we got
I don't even
pizza.
think that.
I know I brought her a birthday cake. I bought her a birthday cake, and Carrie paid for hors d'oeuvres or something.
I bought the little hors d'oeuvres
Oh,
and her white
yeah.
claws for the grand opening. Yeah.
Yep.
That's right. That's
opening
right.
I think we probably still have platinum status chocolate opening on chocolate button.
Who is that?
We used to bring her tacos before her shows so she'd have something to eat.
Yes, I remember, you guys, the grand opening thrift store. You guys, in this story, as a viewer and as a lover of the niche lady coming in, traveling across state lines on my own dollar, I remember her criticizing Carrie because you had somewhere else to be. But I remember you the night before coming in and bringing her a big White Claw, and we were playing games. I remember her criticizing Sonny and Mikey for not being more productive in the overall image of things. I remember her doubting Rebecca and planting her work ethic in my brain. I remember her criticizing Picker Road because they weren't there for the build up. You guys were all there for the subscription.
Because she was having shoulder surgery.
I built my room up 2 weeks before the grand opening.
Yes.
I would have to be in California for shoulder surgery.
Yes, I remember.
Yes.
I remember taking my hugs very gingerly with you because you just had shoulder injury. But I remember Brenda, I'm going to say Brenda. I'm not going to say your YouTube name. I remember Brenda picking me up from the airport and driving me to the Good Stuff thrift store. It would have been the 2 days before the grand opening. And the first response I got once I got there was somebody coming up behind me. My memory is this damn good, Danny. Somebody coming up behind me, covering my eyes and saying, "Guess who?" and hugging me. And it was Carrie.
She's good at that.
I like the hug.
She's the best hugger.
She's so good at that.
Yes.
The other thing I wanted to say too is if it wasn't for Sonny and Mikey, with the Good Stuff thrift store, we probably wouldn't have gotten so many people in that store.
That was
Sorry.
strongly highlighted at this management meeting. And no, for the people said that we're her employees, we're not. We had a
No.
contract with her,
Right.
and I emphasize on the contract because she said we ruined her business and we took away money from her. You damage us in so many different ways and cry about us damaging you, and nobody says anything until now that we're coming together and speaking the truth. You damage us by that, by making us look like we're bad people. You say we're asking for perks as if we got perks from you. And even if it was just asking, you make it seem like we're bad people. You are doing to us what you are crying that you don't want being done to you. And it's just like the hypocrisy of like the everything about what she says is like you're talking about yourself, you know, and nobody else is talking to her. She runs her mouth like it's diarrhea, and there's no reason for it. You know, like if she just shut up, you pretend to be, if somebody could pretend to be good, because you know the difference, obviously. And nobody, like, you don't, she doesn't need anybody, like we don't need each other, but we want to be there for each other for good people. That is like a standard that we have for ourselves. If you're a friend, you're good people, you want good people around you, good people to where it's like, if you invite me over and I am a friend, you trust in me to know that I'm not bringing some dirtbag over. But I just had to emphasize all that because the things she's saying is it's more damaging than people realize. Isn't just not that one video. There's more and more followings that she's getting, more ears and eyes that are hearing this, and they're taking her word for it. And this could be anybody. Just don't lie about us, and nothing will come back to you.
Yeah.
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 100%. I was a hard worker for her. I worked
Oh
my
God,
ass
so
off.
hard.
Yes,
So
you
hard.
did. You did.
And I was pulled in 1,000 directions, and never once did I complain. If someone needed something, I ran and got it for everyone. I mean, it was a complete chaos, literally chaos. Like a month before we opened, and I was running around like, managing all the volunteers that, by the way, were all my friends. Not one of them was any one of hers except for Patty.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
and Rose and Rosie Riveter.
Oh yeah, Rosie would come in as well,
Brenda.
But all the other volunteers were all people that I knew, that I brought in, including, it's like she would expect me to like push the heavy things. And I'm like, I can't lift this kind of stuff. And we're talking heavy things. And she would look at me and go, well, I can't lift it. And so I'm like, what?
One of the red flags with not lifting something reminds me of when a friend's wife told me this, was like, you're too close to see what's going on. You're being used for all your rights. It was immediately after that was, hey, or a text message, I believe, or a call was, hey, can you go help me get this couch because I underestimated her car. And if you see a couch and you knew what her car looked like, how do you underestimate that? You obviously knew what you're doing. So being the good guy that I am for a friend, I'm like, yeah, okay, I'll go help you because you're asking me to help you. I show up and it was poor Matt who was there. And to me, I'm like, oh, like, where's she at? Oh, she told me to come. And I'm like, that's like a false friendship. You asked me personally to help you, not, hey, I'm going to meet somebody else, right? So these little things of red flags were that small, and we're just one thing after another, to where I think Carrie was with her this one day. Let's go to the Broad Acres. I mentioned that earlier, that we're always going there. That was our place to go. So I just said, hey, it was a test. This was a lie on my behalf, a small lie. I can't go on with my truck. It was a lie of me telling her I can't go because my truck needs to be worked on. She's like, oh, okay, we'll figure it out. All of a sudden, it's like, hey, we're outside. I have Carrie and her son with us, and we're in my car, and you know how that works. We'll just go in your truck. So I was peer pressured to then do that, because it's like, how else would she fit her stuff inside the car? So it was very self-centered, in my opinion. And we took my truck. But it was things like that, and I just thought, wow. But by that time, it was already too late for me, because signing a contract, and I will say my partner did not have a contract. It was me who had the contract.
Right.
He could have left time, but being the good person that my partner was and is, he just stuck it through with me, and that's one thing where just all this stuff that she's not telling you about, and it's the truth, but there are truths to make look like they're lies. It's just partial things that are said, but it's taken out of context. And it's so simple because when you have a following, it's not the
Who is that?
May I
It's Mima's connection. Sorry, she's working on it.
if I may jump in here for a quick second.
Yeah.
There were a few things in the chat earlier about, what do we hope to get out of this and why are we doing this? We're not all doing this just to sit and gossip or say anything. We're not speaking behind anybody's back. I mean, this has been a long time coming for a lot of us and a lot of abuse that we took and things. It's interesting because a few minutes ago, I got a personal email that I have not read but I skimmed it. There's about 10 paragraphs worth of shame on you for saying things about, such a wonderful person. I know that she's going to have followers who are going to say to the ends of the earth that she's the one in the right and we're the one in the wrong. But when you look at this group of people, especially the people in here who have absolutely no reason to speak out aside from the fact that they went through this horrible ordeal, maybe just look in your heart and see that these are all people who have gone through a horrible ordeal. They are victims of abuse in many ways. And think twice before you send such a hateful, long message like that.
You got a hateful message?
Yeah.
Why don't you send it to me, not to my son?
Here it goes.
Whoever did it.
This is
But it just goes to show it started from someone and it leads to the people that she paints a picture of. You know what I mean? It's not a random thing, and people need to think more about that. Every time anybody, including myself, if I say something, question. And that's the thing I'm saying about her. When she starts pointing fingers, she says nobody has proof. All right. We don't have proof for everything, but I got a proof for a whole bunch of crap load of stuff from what she said about me and other people. And it's like she never chose proof. It's just words, and it's manipulating her followers, and just taking them for a ride for no damn reason. And Will saying, what do we expect out of this? It's as simple as keep my name out your mouth. Keep the insinuations out of your videos.
Yeah.
Stop the bullshit, and it all stops. Like, we don't need you in our lives. We don't want to be in your life. Like,
I'm going to interject.
Absolutely.
I'm going to interject.
Well said.
I want to say one thing, guys. I want one question answered by you, because this keeps coming up by her. And she says that you're all conspiring together to take her down. And you've all met together.
How many times have we spoken out about her since we left? Not zero.
Am I back on now? I lost my mic again.
You're back on.
There, because she did say when I left, she said, "Oh, I was planning that with Mikey and Sonny for months." That is a bunch of bull-oni. I was talking to Rebecca when I was still there, and I was there for 4 days a week. And when I started with her, I was only 2 days a week. I'm semi-retired. I only wanted a very part-time job. So it got up to 4 days, and I'm like, you know what? I want my time back. I'm tired of doing this. She's very negative, and I'm not a negative person. It's very exhausting to be so negative all the time. It just kills me. When I started with her, I was only 2 days a week. I'm semi-retired. I only
Mimo, you got a second window open.
So it got up to 4 days, and I'm like, you know what? I want my time back. I'm tired of doing this. She's very negative, and I'm not. Oh, I heard myself. Okay. So I just, Rebecca knows, because Rebecca was trying to help me get back down to 2 days. And she's like,
multiple times.
She only wants 2 days, but just give her the 2 days. And she didn't. She wouldn't do it. And so I left because I had my new grandbaby. I knew that I was going to go home, and I knew she didn't say it to my face, but behind my back, she would say things about me when I would go visit the grandbaby. I would go visit. I would do my trade shows and I would hear, you know, this yipping behind my back. And I'm like, that's not how you, that's not, I managed people. My people were like my family. They were like people that I loved dearly, and I treated them just like I would a family member. And I'm like, that's not how you treat someone, talking behind their back all the time. The stuff that she would say to Rebecca about me. And I'm like, so that's what she did, is she talked about each one of us to the other one. So none of us would be loyal to each other. We would be loyal to her. And it's
But we caught
exhausting.
on.
And this, you know, honestly, like we all said, we're the lucky ones at this point. Because look at who I have. Look at these beautiful babies up here above me. Look at this handsome, my girlfriend next to me, and my other girlfriend up in the corner.
our
And I got
Rebecca.
gorgeous Chelsea.
Chelsea.
Come on. You know, we know how to be kind to each other and treat each other with respect.
Because it's
No.
normal. It's
It
the
is
normal
normal.
thing to do.
And that's why I left. I was tired. I couldn't do it anymore. And unfortunately, she's the kind of person you can't semi-leave. You have to be all the way out or all the way in, because otherwise you're getting pulled back in. And you know, the biggest regret I felt was for the kids, because I just love the kids. But you know, out the door I went and never spoke to her again. And I just cut it off. And it was because I wanted to have my time back to myself.
If I could just
Period.
interrupt 1 minute.
Sure.
It looks like Jordan,
No.
his daughter's here.
No.
I don't want to bring her on, Chelsea. She's got it. No,
No, I don't
Yeah.
want to bring her on
No.
either.
Hang on.
no.
I
Make
will-
your own
She's
video
angry
about
right
it.
now.
I will
After
say
what-
this.
Jordan, let me just say one thing to Jordan. After what your mother did to me, I'm coming after her. I'm coming after her. She'll have nothing left when I'm fucking done with her. Just wait, you dumb bitch. Now get her out of here.
Boom.
I will say this, Jordan. I have a special part in my heart for you. Hang on. Meanwhile, your audio is like going berserk.
Well, that's because I keep getting freaking texts from everyone and it's knocking me off.
I'm sorry. Jordan, I love you in a special place in my heart. So does Carrie, so does Sunny, so does Picker Road, so does Rebecca. If you want a special spotlight or a special moment in time to talk, message me and we can talk in private.
You're not here. Not
But
here. This
this
is my
moment,
platform,
this
sweetheart.
show,
It's my platform, sweetheart. Okay, Jordan? Goodbye. Get out. Go play with mommy.
in this moment, this show is dedicated to Picker Road.
I'm
This
sorry
show-
for how I'm speaking, but I will not let any more lies from that family come anywhere near me.
Okay. So I'm going to say it again. The show is Picker Road special. Thank you, Picker Road, for being
Yes.
here. 100%. Rebecca, Carrie, and Sunny have been inspired by whatever God you believe in to come in and join and support Picker Road in their conversation about
Thank you.
being
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
about being
We love you.
about being a vendor in the Good Stuff thrift store, about helping Danny in multiple moves and stuff like that. If you want to reach out to me, you can 100%, because I pray for you constantly and your family.
Chelsea, stop. Chelsea, this is my panel. This is my channel. Jordan, do you know what your mother did to me? Do you know what your mother did to each of these people speaking about her? Are you that clueless? Are you that clueless? Do you want to know what your mother said about you that's sitting in my phone? You want me to expose that next? Because I will. You'll be embarrassed.
Oh,
So
Jordan
get out of
knows.
here.
Yeah,
Jordan,
sure.
I've talked to Jordan about this. She knows her mom talked about her, but see, Jordan knows her mom is sick. Jordan's thing is it's her mom and she wants to help her mom. And she thinks her mom is reachable. But I'm not
Delusional if she
convinced.
thinks her mom is reachable.
I'm not convinced. I think Danny will always.
I'm with Rebecca on that. You know, when it's your kid or your parent, there is that side, and that's how. And you're upset, obviously, and everybody has a right to be upset, and that's your feelings. And on a clear mind, I think you would agree. Like, I would assume you would agree, because I feel you have a good heart, that you would be like, that is your mom. or this is your kid, and you would side with them on certain things, not everything. I got to bring up something somebody said in a comment, that if she paid for any gas, I understand the comment, but it's also such a little question of no importance. And I'll tell you how important it was to me, though. On the flip side, was I never wanted gas because I could afford gas. I never want somebody to keep buying me gas, which she only did once because Carrie forced me to, and I only did half a tank, and she kept pushing. Well, just fill it up. I didn't want anybody to fill in my gas tank because I don't ever want somebody coming and saying, "Well, I paid for your gas." Right? I was just doing it. Friends and family who are good to each other never do things for one another for tally marks. You do it and you keep doing it, and you don't ever look at how much somebody's done for somebody else. When you see that you're being taken advantage, then you do something about it. But I am going to stop on this because there's more I could share, and I don't want to. And it's not to make anybody feel like they're being bullied. It's just bringing out the things that are said about me and others, you not showing proof, and you continue to say it when you have really no need to, other than your own sake. And you just have to rearrange your mind, Danny, of just stopping. Just focus on yourself, focus on your family. You talk about that all the time. Boo-hoo, my family. Well, I have a wife, and I'll tell you all right now, I have a son, and we've been keeping it a secret, and we're going through some things because life isn't perfect, and I'm going through obstacles with him that we are just praying every day it works out. So when she thinks she's better than others, nobody is. Everybody's life is different. We're all going through things, and you're just adding on the more shit that we're already dealing with when you need to mind your own damn business.
100%. I lost a grandbaby last year.
You speak so well. You just brought me down from up here to calmer.
Carrie.
And thank you.
Yeah.
We love you, Carrie.
Thank you, I know. I lost
I'm
my
outta here.
grandson last year. I mean,
Hi, Sunny.
and Sonny's so right. It's like,
Did we lose Sonny?
Oh,
yeah,
no,
he left.
sorry.
He
He
left.
left. I'm going to interject something because I'm seeing the comments in the chat. Yes, 100% JDA, because I am all about bringing out the truth. JDA, 100%. You have said if you are a follower of the Niche Lady, we will invite you onto the panel. 100%. If you want your spotlight, Jordan, anybody else who is a follower or drinking the Kool-Aid, whatever you want, 100%. We will bring you onto the panel with JDA's blessing, which once me and Mima reel him back in and bring him back to a comma level place of love, JDA, we will do that. Right now, tonight, it is 10 o'clock Mountain. That means it is midnight on the East Coast. It is tomorrow.
My gosh,
on
I
the
didn't even
East
realize
Coast.
what time it was. And everyone on panel, I do apologize for my outburst. But what was done to me
Understandable.
was so wrong. Played on me when my dad was killed. That was wrong.
I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
I can feel your pain, and I wish you so much healing. I'm
You know
so
what?
sorry.
I'm just going to say this because I know this is how JDA feels. And just because everyone else came on the panel tonight doesn't make it okay that Jordan gets to come onto the panel tonight. Jordan's had a long time to make peace with these people. And because there's a whole group here doesn't mean it's okay. And it doesn't mean her spotlight. And we're not going to give that to her tonight. And
But
it's just not going to happen.
Not tonight.
not.
Obviously not tonight. Tonight was
I
dedicated
don't-
to growth.
If I could speak, I did
I
say
don't
yes.
know.
I will invite other niche followers, Kool-Aid drinkers on. But when that is, I need to be backed off because I'm still too heated.
Yeah.
Exactly. So if you want to be a part of I'm looking directly at the camera. If you want to be a part of this panel, and I'm coming to you as a fellow Niche Lady supporter, a friend of, and someone who has hugged and loved and spent time and broke bread with Picarode, Rebecca, Carrie, Sunny, Mikey, the Niche Lady, Jordan. If you guys want to be a part of this panel, please reach out to Mima because she is the most level-headed of us all on this. She is the most bipartial person of this. She is the Diane Sawyer of this. Please do, and we will arrange so. tonight was 100% dedicated to Pick a Road and them telling their story. I've seen comments and stuff. Sunny, please tell your story. Rebecca has told her story. Please go back and view that. If Rebecca wants to tell her story, we can do so. If Carrie wants to retell her story, she can do so. Those stories are all out there online. Mikey Bags of Money, if he wants to come on, he can tell his story. These videos have all been documented.
Well, I want to say
It was
something about a
just-
comment.
It was
If I could
just
just
very
if I could say one
opportunistic
thing.
for. Okay, go ahead.
If I could just say one thing, it's Sherry Stretch had said, I guess it's saying how hard it must be on Danny's children. Well, how about my children? My children are under 18 and had to read what she did and what she did to me to get money from me. My kids witnessed that. Should my daughters have witnessed that? No.
Never. And I just
So
think
I
it
don't
was
care
very
about her kids, no
opportunistic
offense.
for her to try.
All right, I'm going to mute my mic.
I apologize on the production end of this, as multiple people come in and out of the chat that have full access. Some buttons have been clicked that may not have should have been clicked. I apologize for that. But once again, tonight's panel was 100% dedicated to Pick a Road. We thank Pick a Road so much for providing screenshots and your statement that we can provide online and up front. I am full screen, not like I usually am. Because I love each and every one of everybody on this panel 100%. If you want to reach out to the panel and you are a favor or you are biologically inclined to Danny, please reach out and we will, with JDA's blessing, this is his channel, we will get you onto the panel. But tonight is JDA's, or
it's Pick a Road, and I apologize for my
and
outburst. I apologize.
And I know Pick a Road would grant the blessing, and they can contradict if they wish or say no, but I know Pick a Road would totally grant for Carrie, Sunny, and Rebecca to pop onto the platform.
Oh gosh, yeah,
Of course.
absolutely. These are our friends.
We want to thank you all for not only giving us a chance to clarify the things that we wanted to clarify, to answer these questions, but all of you wonderful people who we've gotten to know and love. Thank you for corroborating and being there for us, and we're there for you.
For the emotional support. Thank you.
100%.
Thank you so much, Chelsea. Thank you, Mima, for all you did in the pre-production. And thank you, JDA. Thank you, Dave, for giving us a platform on your channel.
And Sunny, I don't know if you're still watching, Sunny, but we are thinking about you and your family every single day.
Absolutely.
And we are sending every blessing to you.
And Carla, nothing but the best.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And on that note, Chelsea, if I'm just going to take us out quickly, we will be back this Sunday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, to continue debunking the niche lady. I thank Mima, Sunny, the Pick a Road family, Rebecca, Carrie, and everyone else. Thank you all. And on that, good night, and we will see you soon.
Bye.
Farewell.
Bye, guys.